This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Police in Tennessee conducted a welfare check on Grizzlies star Ja Morant today following cryptic messages on his Instagram story account. Officials say the Morant's fine, just taking a break from social media. He was suspended from all team activities after a video of him holding a gun circulated on social media May 13th. Optimism from the 49ers that quarterback Brock Purdy could be fully cleared to return to football from UCL surgery by week 1. They're hoping he'll be back as their starter early in the season. Until then, lots of Trey Lance and Sam Darnold for the 49ers, who set themselves up with options, explains ESPN's Dan Graziano.
Lance shows something in the offseason and preseason games. He may be a guy that becomes of interest to other teams, and maybe the 49ers can get something for him in a trade. Or maybe if Brock Purdy has a setback, they end up going with Lance if he has a promising offseason. And then they have Darnold there as well, who has the experience in case they have to use him.
Panthers captain Alexander Barkov back from a lower body injury. Game 4 NHL East Final tonight against the Hurricanes. Florida with a win advances to the Stanley Cup Final for the first time since 1996.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. They're close, convenient, and have the parts you need fast, along with excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt.
Hey, shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Musu. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Oh, by the way, it's a hump day. Yep.
It's hump day.
Let's hump, everybody.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Tigers off to a great start in Hoover. They beat the Cox.
It's hump day.
Advance into the winner's bracket.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
They'll play the Pigs or the Ags. God, I hope it's the Aggies.
It's hump day.
We're bringing back Hunt the Good Ag.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Get ready for it. That's happening.
It's hump day.
Probably not.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
But maybe. Saints OTA's back on the field.
It's hump day.
Oh, Jay Johnson, 1 hour from right now.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
He'll be here. He gonna do one. He lives 15 feet away. This is his house. He sleeps 15 feet away.
It's hump day.
It was an old school reference.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Just trying to see if I get Muse to break. Is that one not on the list, Muse?
It's hump
That
day.
one's not on the list. There's way better old school lines. Way better old school lines.
No, I just meant the movie.
Oh, no, that movie's on the list, yes.
I don't think it is.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
I mean, usually I mention any. Going here. A lot to get to. I do have some LSU football. A big news for one LSU commit who has raced up the 247 Sports rankings. And maybe one assistant that got away. We got to talk about that coming up a little bit. But let's start at the only place to start it today. Right here. Let's go.
It's time to pop the top. on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
All right, LSU in Hoover. Boy, there was some drama, but LSU was able to do the deed on the back of some really good pitching there today in Hoover. You take my audio. Okay, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just come to me. Forget about it. Try to do elements in the show and whatever. LSU beats South Carolina today, 10-3. You had great pitching and you had great hitting today. The offense was on fire. We'll get into all this. LSU has locked up a national seed. That much we know. I think they had done that before today. Winning today, it just further solidifies that the further they go in this tournament. Maybe they can move up a line. D1 baseball has them projected as the 4 seed right now nationally. Wake Forest, Arkansas, Florida ahead of LSU. Maybe LSU wins this tournament. They move up a line. Doesn't really matter. But, I think what you want really is to be playing your best when you're moving into regionals. You want to be playing your best as you move into the postseason. Look at LSU's offense today. 10 runs on 12 hits. That's really efficient. Your entire starting 9 all got on base. The only player in the starting 9 today that did not have a hit was Jordan Thompson, but he got on base twice. He walked, and he was hit by a pitch. And by the way, the walk was in the second inning. He started with an 0-2 count. He was down 0-2, fought back, worked a walk. The next hitter was Braden Jobert, who hit a 2-run homer. So that is a super productive, efficient at-bat for Jordan Thompson. Your offense today was great. They mixed things up a little bit. Cruz led off. They moved Gavin Dugas to the 8-hole. We saw Pearson in a right field today. Jobert went to left. Morgan went back to first. So they're committed to getting Travinsky in the lineup, and which they absolutely should. But someone is going to find their way out of the lineup if you're committed to getting Pearson in as well. So in any event, offense was great today. You played flawless defense behind your pitching, and really the pitching has got to be the story because we all know this offense is one of, if not the best offense in college baseball. The question is, behind Paul Skeens, do they have enough? I think we would all agree that over the last 6 weeks, certainly the emergence that we have seen from Ty Floyd has given you tremendous confidence in your first 2 guys that you're going to send out there. The question is, what about your day 3? What about your bullpen? Can you protect a lead? All those things that we've been trying to sort through and figure out throughout the course of this season is kind of coming to a head at this point. And it was really interesting to me to listen to Jay Johnson in the in-game interview, because before the game, and I was listening to the broadcast, and so Doug Thompson was doing play-by-play today, as Chris Blair wasn't there today. Doug's doing play-by-play along with Bill Franquez, and they're talking about the plan for Herd. And Doug mentions, probably like to get 2-3 innings out of Thatcher Herd. Well, during the in-game interview, they asked Jay Johnson his plan for Thatcher Herd. Here's what he said.
What's the plan for him today?
We're trying to win a game, and if he's getting outs, we're going to keep him going.
If he's getting outs, we're going to keep him going. As long as he's getting outs, leave him out there. The problem LSU has had is you try to shoehorn guys situationally into roles. We've asked this question, well, who's your day 3 starter? Who's your closer? Who's your middle reliever? Who's your midweek starter? And the bottom line is, on different days, different guys have been good in different roles. So if you find a guy that's getting outs and you got to get 27 of them, keep going with that guy until he runs out of gas. I don't think it's, hey, save Herd for tomorrow or to use him multiple times. It's, hey, Herd can give you 5 1/3 today. Get 5 1/3 from Herd. And he was awesome. 12 up, 12 down to start the game. Petrie homered to start the 5th. Great job getting out of that afterwards by Thatcher Herd. He got the first out of the 6th, and then 4 guys got on base. He only walked 2, and it was the last 2 batters he faced. So Thatcher Herd was fantastic. Sam Dutton came out. Pitched to 1 guy, walked in a run. He's out of the game. Then Ackenhausen took you the rest of the way for 3 2/3. Again, really good. A guy, you're not looking going, man, how far do you want Ackenhausen to go? You're going to bring him back? Doesn't matter. He's getting outs. Leave him out there. That's what they did. That was great to see. But I'll tell you, Herd's emergence, I think, is so important. Before the season, I've referenced this several times, but before the season, I believe this was at media days before the season, Jay Johnson made this declaration about this. Is before the season started. Jay Johnson said this about Thatcher Herd.
For sure. I mean, as a matter of fact, I'd go as far as saying for us to be the best team that we need to be, then, he needs to figure into that starting mix, and that probably will help.
For us to be the best team we're going to be this year, Thatcher Herd needs to figure into the starting mix. Remember, before the season started, Herd wasn't in your weekend rotation. And ultimately moved into that role, then moved out of that role, and he's trying to find his way, but he's been real good over the last month at the back of the bullpen, but boy, did he look good today. As a matter of fact, not only was Thatcher, did Jay Johnson say that before the season, he said it after the Tennessee series as well when LSU took 2 out of 3 from the Vols.
He certainly has the stuff to do it. He'll probably pitch on Tuesday in some capacity, only threw 21 or 22 pitches, and we need to get him back out there because if we're going to accomplish the things that we want to as this team, then he's got to be a part of this in a big way.
He's got to be a part of this in a big way. Jay Johnson said it before the season. He said it at the end of March when they played Tennessee, and you better believe he's thinking the same thing right now. If LSU is going to be what we all want them to be, which is a national champion, Thatcher Herd has the ability. He's got to go do it. And he did it today. And he's done it more often than not over his last handful of outings in different capacities. As a starter, as a closer, as a reliever. Like we saw at Game 1 against Georgia last weekend where he extended 5 innings. You're seeing it. Thatcher Herd's got to get you outs. You're looking for guys out of that bullpen that can get you outs. He's shown he can do it. So do it. LSU beats South Carolina in the opener 10-3. So they will play now the winner of the game that's on right now. Texas A&M and Arkansas. A&M is beating Arkansas right now. So if A&M wins this game, if they hang on, it'll be LSU and the Aggies tomorrow at 4:30. If the Tigers win that game, then they're off Friday. They move into Saturday. You'll have back to the single elimination portion. You win that, you go Sunday. So best case scenario for LSU, you throw Paul Skeens tomorrow against A&M. You win that game. You have the day off Friday. You come back with Ty Floyd on Saturday. You win that one. You got Javen Coleman and whoever's left Sunday in a championship game. I'm not sure you could draw it up much better for LSU for this week to go that way. See if they can advance, most likely behind Paul Skeens tomorrow. Jay Johnson with us to start hour 2 in 48 minutes from right now. We'll ask him sort of the plan for tomorrow. We'll see if he is willing to disclose it yet about who will throw tomorrow. My guess is you keep Paul Skeens on his regular rest, and then you give him a little more rest, an extra, probably 2 days extra for regionals next week. Okay, it's After Further Review. Our show open every day, of course, is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy, Louisiana. You're watching some college baseball, watching LSU in the SEC tournament. Reach for an ice cold Bud Light and drink easy. Our friends over at Mockler have been great sponsors of ours here, great partners of our community. I go to any charitable event anywhere, any church fair, any organization, any men's club meeting. I told you it was at Smoke 'em If you got him this past weekend, live after 5 in downtown Baton Rouge. You see the Bud Light, you see the Mockler beverage signs everywhere. They've been great community partners for 4 decades. Drink easy, Louisiana. Enjoy some Tiger baseball and grab you an ice cold Bud Light. The official beer of AFR and sponsoring our show opens every single day here on After Further Review. Okay, our Hump Day shows are brought to you by Pluckers. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll come back. We'll get to a ton of LSU baseball stuff today. But when we come back, I do want to touch on Saints OTAs as they were back on the field yesterday and today, and most notably, Foster Moreau did meet with the media for the first time since joining the New Orleans Saints. You'll hear from the former Tiger and current Saint when we come back on AFR.
AFR.
And our Hump Day shows, as always, brought to you by Pluckers with 2 locations, Nicholson just south of campus and Bluebonnet right in front of the Mall of Louisiana. Great night to get by Pluckers every Wednesday because every Wednesday is trivia. A live action trivia, test your knowledge, win Pluckers gift cards. Remember, every team that shows up for trivia, you get to spin the prize wheel. So every team is going to win something, even if you don't win a round. But listen, you've got, obviously, the SEC baseball tournament going on right now. You've got the Eastern Conference Finals moving along right now after Boston's win last night to keep it alive. Every night of the week, you got Major League Baseball games. If you love the NHL playoffs, whatever you're wanting to watch, whatever sporting event you're wanting to watch, Pluckers has it on TV. and they've got award-winning jumbo chicken wings and ice-cold draft beer and a full-service bar and 2 great locations. Nicholson just south of campus and Bluebonnet right in front of the Mall of Louisiana. Remember, it's Pluckers if you don't like our wings. We'll give you the bird.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, anytime. Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Turn my music high, 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 yeah.
You don't know what you're doing.
Sure I do. I'm from the streets where the hood can swallow on me. Bullets will follow on me. There's so much that you could run the slalom. And cops comb this top to bottom. They say that we are prone to violence, but it's home sweet home. With personalities clash and chrome meets chrome. Prices up and down like it's Wall Street.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look.
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Pluckers Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Pluckers Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Saints are back on the practice field for OTAs on Wednesday. Great to see him out there. Great to see sort of the new-look Saints and a lot of the new Saints out there. Of course, Derek Carr's been out there the past couple days, as has Foster Moreau, who we all know the story at this point, and it's just incredible to see Foster out there, but also out there with Derek Carr, which is so important. One of the things that we're probably most interested in is considering the very real health situation, although the prognosis is excellent, could this cost Foster Moreau any time during the season? He was asked that question very directly earlier today.
Is there any concern from you that you can physically get through an entire season?
Not an ounce. No, I'll be just fine.
That's you can't be any more declarative than that, which is awesome to hear. And at some point, I think I'm going to stop giving the qualifier that, of course, we all know the most important thing is Foster's health and him beating cancer and all of that. But we're obviously looking at this through, and that is of the utmost importance. But we're all, of course, looking at this through a football prism as well, and we understand how much this offense values the tight end and how thin they are at that position, and why it's so important for Foster to be there on the field from a football standpoint. What's also interesting is that Foster was asked today about Juwan Johnson, understanding this is a guy that was a college receiver who changed his body to become an NFL tight end, a pass-catching tight end who stylistically is different, plays the position differently than Foster Moreau does. But the Saints have made a commitment to Juwan Johnson with the 2-year deal they gave him. Here was Foster talking about Juwan Johnson.
I can't speak too much for Juwan. I can speak a little bit on him. I think he's an exceptional leader, first and foremost. I think he takes it extremely serious, especially in this off-season training program. He knows this is the time to get better, and I look forward to him being an invaluable resource for me and my development. I think he's a really good player.
Man, so much about culture, and you can hear it whenever you hear Foster Moreau talk, right? It's true about Juwan Johnson. This may be a little bit silly for some of you, but if you follow Juwan on social media, he and his wife, Juwan's been on the show before, Juwan and his wife have a joint TikTok account, and they are TikTok influencers. They have a massive following on TikTok, and the love they have as a family is very evident, and they've also chronicled their journey through their fertility challenges, quite honestly, and ultimately now Juwan's wife is pregnant, and they're expecting the birth of their first child, and they were very. They shared their emotional reaction on social media whenever they learned that Juwan had gotten the contract from the Saints, was going to be able to stay in New Orleans. My point is, we talk a lot about Saints culture here and how much they value that. We've talked about it for a long time, and that's just evidence, again, when Foster's just now joining this organization, is already seeing how apparent that is with some of the guys that are already here, and a guy at the same position that he's trying to learn from and develop in their roles. One guy who we know Foster, of course, knows a lot about is Derek Carr, and he championed bringing Foster to New Orleans, obviously. Foster was asked about having Derek Carr in New Orleans and how that helps with the transition.
The cadence was certainly a lot easier. There was some times today where I definitely struggled to get off the ball as fast as I wanted to. Not too many of those times really happened with Derek, just because I know when he's snapping the ball. And other than that, it's fun. Routes on air, I'm gonna run a basic cross, and just hearing that familiar face, like, hey, I got Foff, like, that's pretty fun.
That part of the transition is something I don't think we should minimize. And by the way, just by extension, I think that also affects a guy like Brian Edwards, right? Brian Edwards had been with Carr in Las Vegas with the Raiders as a receiver we talked about, who was at South Carolina, set all the receiving records in South Carolina football history, and has been in with the Raiders with Carr. So it's another guy that has a lot of familiarity, timing. Like, that should work to their benefit here early. But remember, it wasn't just Foster saying it. Derek Carr, when he met with reporters on Tuesday, was asked about working with Foster again.
It was amazing. There was no learning curve on how to throw him a football. I know how he gets out of breaks and things like that, but I think I don't want to undersell what that man just walked through. That's pretty scary news and a pretty scary thing to go through, and for him to be out there already, I'm not getting into his business, but it's pretty miraculous. I know he's thankful. We were praying for him. He called us, pretty early when he found out, and he's asked my wife and I to pray for him, and obviously we do because we're family. And I'm just happy that he's out there and doing something that he loves to do. Yep. And the fact that we get to play together is pretty cool too.
The beginning part of that cut where it says, I know how to throw him a football, how he gets out of breaks, timing, like all that should help the transition. One more, though, from Foster on working with Derek Carr.
Derek is he's always kept a level head, and he's always been very respectful of the people that he's played with and the people that he's played under. Always has done it the right way, and has taken every opportunity to make sure that he leaves everything out on the field. He's a world-class teammate and an unbelievable human being, certainly.
I think at some point, all of the conversation is going to transition more and more away from Foster and the cancer diagnosis and everything they're in and be focused on football. Like, it's just the cancer diagnosis won't be as much as central a part of the conversation. For obvious reasons, it is now because it's still new. And today was the first time the Saints reporters really had a chance to talk to Foster, and certainly at OTAs and seeing him on the field. But as we move through OTAs and then minicamp and then training camp and then preseason, it's going to be about football. And it's going to be that. But in the meantime, it's obviously still worth and very relevant to covering everything that he's been through. But the great thing as far as that transition is position of need, and the familiarity already with Foster and Derek Carr is tremendous. I do want to talk about Saints defense in just a quick second. Let me remind you about Relief Windows, reliefwindows.com, reliefwindows.com. You know, I've talked about Relief Windows now here since 2015, and I love endorsing them and telling you about how great of a company they are and great people that Brandon and Adrian Holly are, and every single measure tech and installer that may come to your house, how you can trust them and how they do exceptional work, how they've done work in my house. One thing we never talk about is price. And you know, with Relief Windows, they of course sell a premium product and they do a premium service and a premium job, and it's awesome. But they do offer discounts as well. So I would always encourage you, when you call Relief Windows to ask about those discounts. Like, for example, if you buy an entry door and windows at the same time, they'll give you a 10% discount. So there's a lot of those things that are there as well. So I would always recommend when you give Relief Windows a call, ask them. The other thing that's happened, and this just goes to kind of show you the ethics of a guy like Brandon Holly. When COVID had happened and there was the buzzword was supply chain, and when the supply chain was disrupted and prices of everything was going up, well, that had to be reflected in the price they passed along to consumers, of course. Well, as things have started to normalize and rectify, prices have come down again. They haven't maintained those high prices. So something that maybe cost a certain amount 12, 18 months ago could actually cost less today because some of those supply chain issues aren't what they were during and just after COVID. So anyway, my point is, it's always worth giving them a shout at Relief Windows. 288-8138, 288-8138 for Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. Jay Johnson in 33 minutes from right now. Looks like Paul Skeens is going to get the ball for LSU tomorrow. I expect that to be in sort of a limited role. I don't expect Paul Skeens to go through 100 pitches tomorrow, but we'll talk about that with Jay Johnson at the start of hour number 2. I did mention the Saints defense. Last week, we talked about Pro Football Network and how they put out their efficiency projections for this coming season. And they projected the Saints offense to actually be worse this year than they were last year. And so we kind of went through it, and I flatly disagreed. The weird part about it was, the Saints offensively a year ago, we went position by position, and the three of us in here, me and Musso and Paul, went position by position at what the Saints had at the end of last year relative to what they'll have at the beginning of this season. And literally every position offensively, the Saints are better now than they were offensively at the end of last season. Now, beginning of last season, it was different, right? I mean, we were all excited about Michael Thomas and Jarvis Landry and Chris Olave. The receivers, Jameis was the starter and coming back healthy, and you had drafted Trevor Penning, and we were all very excited at the beginning of last season. Then injury sort of overtook that team, and we know kind of how they finished. So I actually thought, because of how they finished, that projecting this year they'd be better than how they finished last year. Defensively, what's interesting is that the Saints started slowly last year and got better as the season went along, yet the Pro Football Network defensive efficiency projections have the Saints actually getting worse this year as well. And this one I actually kind of do understand. So if you're scoring at home, the Saints last year finished 10th in these defensive efficiency rankings. The projection for them in 2023 has them dropping to 14, one spot behind the Kansas City Chiefs, the defending champion. They mentioned adding Brian Brzee and Isaiah Foskey, but losing Davenport, Onyemata, Ellis, Tuttle, all that stuff. And then how do you really project for guys like Adebo and Roby, some guys who've been really good secondary players, but, how good will they be this year? So all of that is sort of in the description. When I look back, though, this one does make more sense to me. Remember, at the beginning of the year last year, the Saints go to London, they play Minnesota, and they allow 28 points, but they they allowed Cousins to throw all over and rally late. And then they play Seattle at home, and they win that game, but they give up 32 points. And then they play Cincinnati at home, and they lose, and they allow Burrow to have the late scoring drive, and they give up 30. Then they go play on Thursday night against Arizona, and Arizona scored 42. And yeah, they had a couple of pick sixes, but even in spite of that, Andy Dalton struggles. That Arizona offense really was humming against them. And then they started to figure it out. They shut out the Raiders. They lost to Baltimore, but then just allowed 10 points at Pittsburgh, 20 points to the Rams. They lost to San Fran, but that was a 13-0 game. They got shut out, but only gave up 13 points. They lost to Tampa 17-16. That's where they gagged away the late lead. But the point is, defensively, they started getting much better as the season went along. But at the end of the season, this is the part that's pretty obvious that you can't ignore. Your top two tacklers from a year ago, Demario Davis and Tyrann Mathieu, are both a year older. Demario's 34, Tyron's 31. You lost your top three defensive tackles. Shai Tuttle, David Onyemata, Kentavious Street were your top three defensive tackles a year ago. They're all gone. You lost Caden Ellis, who was second on your team in sacks with 7 behind only Cam Jordan. So you lost a ton of production. And then on top of that, you're counting on Brian Brzee and Isaiah Foskey to have really big rookie years. Are they capable? Absolutely. But if you're looking at a defensive efficiency projection, how do you project realistically a rookie to have a certain type of season replacing veteran players who you knew what you were going to get out of them provided they stayed healthy, and those guys had? I would tell you the other thing, too, that's a gigantic question mark is, can you stay healthy at linebacker and defensive back? Consider this, y'all. Just looking at defensive back. A year ago, Marshawn Lattimore played 7 games, so he missed 10. Adebo played 13 games. He missed 4. Alontae Taylor missed 4 games. Bradley Roby missed 4 games. P.J. Williams missed 6 games. Marcus May missed 7 games. Just in guys that were key contributors in your secondary, just your secondary, missed 10, 4, 4, 4, 6, 7 games. I mean, it's 35 combined games missed by Lattimore, Adebo, Taylor, Roby, Williams, and May. So, can you stay healthy? I don't know. I hope so. And if you do, you're obviously better. But it's a giant question mark when you're trying to project for this team. And then Pete Werner at linebacker missed 5. I mean, Demario Davis is magnificent. We know that. But he's getting older, and you wonder at how long he will continue to play at the level that he isn't showing any signs of slowing down. But, Werner's been a guy you're counting on next to Demario Davis, especially in losing Caden Ellis. But Werner missed 5 games last year, and he's had trouble being durable in his career. So I don't understand the offensive efficiency projecting the Saints to be 22nd in the league, dropping from a year ago. I can understand the questions about the defense because of your personnel losses, aging veterans, how much you're going to count on rookies as well, and some of the questions that need to be answered. Can you stay healthy? If Davis and Mathieu continue playing at a high level, great. If you stay healthy, great. If Foskey and Brzee have great seasons, awesome. You can be a really good defense. You can be a top 10 defense. It's a lot of ifs, though. All right, it's after further review. We'll knock out a quick break, go around the SEC. Taylor Calandro with a little Bourbon Dictionary in about 10 minutes, and Jay Johnson 27 minutes from right now. Tigers beat South Carolina in their opener in Hoover today. 10-3, they advance to play the winner of Texas A&M Arkansas, which presently is in the middle of the 7th. A&M beating Arkansas 4-1. Stick around, it's AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by the Renaissance Hotel, Southtown, right there on Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge. Bluebonnet near I-10. You know where the Renaissance is. It is Baton Rouge's premier hotel destination right there in Southtown. It's where so many of the visiting teams stay when they're in Baton Rouge. It's where the LSU football team stays the night before football games. Centrally located, convenient access to I-10 to get anywhere in town. And when it comes to hosting events, there's just no better place in Baton Rouge. From their grand ballroom that can host up to 500 people for wedding receptions, award banquets, and fundraisers, to their intimate, elegant boardrooms with boardroom tables, tall leather chair backs with conference screens and flat screens where they can host you and provide meals or whatever it may be that you need. It's at the Renaissance Hotel. They're in the business of saying yes. Call Allison today at the Renaissance Hotel in Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $20,000 off new 22 Ram 1500 SCA trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory, all with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
March last year. Oh, that ball is touched deep to right. Petrie can only watch it sail over the fence. A 2-run shot for Joe Bear. And it's 2-0 LSU.
109 miles an hour off the bat, went 420-plus feet. Braden Joubert got the party started for LSU with a 2-run bomb in the second. LSU would never trail. They would go on to beat South Carolina 10-3 to open their stay in Hoover at the SEC tournament. Jay Johnson, 21 minutes from right now, will join us from Hoover. But afterwards, Jay Johnson talked about the offense today at the SEC tournament.
We have a great offense, and we've played great baseball all year on that side of the ball, and we can do it in a lot of different ways. But I thought there was a lot of professional at-bats today. We walked. We moved the ball forward with runners in scoring position. Big home run by Braden Joubert. So really put the whole deal together in a big way against a really good team today.
One thing that I think we can probably stop talking about is Dylan Cruz now. Let me rephrase. Not talking about Dylan Cruz. He's obviously always going to be a talking point. But we talked about the slump. Dylan Cruz has now hit safely in 6 consecutive games. 3 of the 6 have been multi-hit games. Yes, it was weird to see him have 1 hit over the course of 5 games. But we got to put context around that because of how awesome he is. You see a guy essentially have a weekend where, he has a hit over the course of a weekend, 1 hit, and you're like, well, what's wrong with Dylan Cruz? I mean, when he hits 250 over a weekend, we're like, what's wrong with Dylan Cruz? But when you've set the standard of batting 500, I get it. But he has hit safely now in 6 consecutive games. 3 of the 6 have been multi-hit games. And today, by the way, he murdered a baseball to straightaway center in the first inning. That ballpark plays really big. He hit it 403 feet and probably would have been a home run in darn near any other park. So you got to feel good about where Dylan Cruz is right now as well. He's seeing it good. He's hitting it good. And Tigers will roll on. Okay, Taylor Calandro with Bourbon Dictionary coming up here in just a few right now. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products, excellence in imaging solutions. The Georgia Bulldogs.
Another Georgia football player has been arrested in a driving-related incident. Senior receiver Marcus Rosemead Saint was arrested, charged with reckless driving and speeding on Tuesday. That's the 4th driving-related arrest by a Bulldogs player this offseason. He was released within an hour of being charged with a pair of misdemeanors. Kirby Smart said that back in March, the police met with the team about the dangers of street racing. Met with them last summer. Apparently that message is not taken.
The Arkansas Razorbacks.
Men's basketball assistant coach Gus Argonal has accepted the head coaching position at Cal State San Bernardino. That ends his 2-year tenure with the Razorbacks. He actually was on Musselman's staff at Nevada, went with him to Arkansas as well. He was recently named by one of the 50 most impactful high major assistants in Division I basketball. Known as a relentless recruiter, landed the nation's number 2 high school recruiting class in 2022. This news actually has just come in just here in the past several minutes. The Florida Gators and Georgia Bulldogs have exercised their option to keep the cocktail party in Jacksonville through 2026. There's some debate over whether or not that game would move out of Jacksonville onto campus or another neutral site, but the schools and the SEC have released a joint statement saying they will exercise the 2-year option to keep playing at TIAA Bank Field through 2026. Over there in the SEC baseball tournament, we know what happened yesterday at the SEC tournament. Of course, with, we'll run through the results real quickly from yesterday. South Carolina, of course, we know beat Georgia. Texas A&M eliminated Tennessee. In the evening windows, Bama shut out Kentucky 4-0 and sending Kentucky home, and Auburn beat Missouri 10-4, eliminating the Missouri Tigers. This morning, LSU beat South Carolina. You know that. And in progress right now, the Aggies and the Hogs are playing bottom 7. It's 4-1 Texas A&M with 1 out in the 7th, and Arkansas has runners at 1st and 2nd. So we'll keep you posted as LSU will play the winner of this game tomorrow at 4:30 Central Time. Okay, there you have it. That is Around the SEC presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. Shout out to our guy Trey Beal and our friends at Gulf Coast Office Products. You know where to find them, gcopnet.com. They can always get to you same day. Worst case scenario, 10 a.m. the next day. They got offices and warehouses in New Orleans and Baton Rouge, Lafayette as well. They're the official office equipment provider of the New Orleans Saints, the New Orleans Pelicans, the LSU Tigers, and the ULL Raging Cajuns. It is Gulf Coast Office Products, gcopnet.com. Okay, we're going to get Bourbon Dictionary with Taylor Calandro coming up right after the break. Jay Johnson in 16 minutes from right now will join us from Hoover. A lot of football talk I want to get to as well, including maybe one that got away for Brian Kelly, who has been mostly magnificent since being hired by LSU. But one slight snafu might be rearing its ugly head again today. We'll get to that in hour 3. All right, we're glad to have you aboard with us here. We'll wrap up hour number 1 next.
AFR.
Buying or selling commercial or residential, call Darren James and get your home sold. A lot of people think, you know what, I'm just going to do the for sale by owner route. Save the commissions. Well, a couple things. Number one, commissions are negotiable. If you're not aware of that, no matter who you hire to be your realtor, commissions are negotiable. So negotiate commissions. Darren encourages that, by the way. Also, 73%, nearly 3 out of 4 people that list their home for sale by owner end up hiring a realtor for a variety of reasons. Maybe it's not exactly sure how to price your home. Maybe you just can't be home for the showings at all times. That's why you got to hire Darren James. On the Wall Street Journal's list of the top 1% of realtors in America. Why would you hire anyone other than the best? You wouldn't. 335-7666 or agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down on my last dime. Come home, live Baton Rouge. I'm ready, what you put me on through. Gotta send my love down the
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
They're the gang with the slang. This is Bourbon Dictionary with Matt Moscona and Taylor Calandro.
All right, wrapping up hour number one. Get your booze questions in. You can email us, tweet us, jump in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat, or text in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Get your questions in for Taylor Calandro. How are you, dude?
Good, man. I'm hot. Yeah, I'm outside. It's hot outside.
Well, I'm not outside, so I'm actually quite comfortable here in studio. You should try
It's
it
nice
sometime.
and cool in that studio. It's like a little cool closet.
I kind of find it really pleasant in here right now. I don't find it too cold. I find it just perfect, as a matter of fact.
Good.
What's new?
Nothing really new to report on. I tried some new stuff from a new distillery in Donaldsonville today called Noel. The distillery's called Noel. We should be getting their stuff in the next week or so. They source tequila. They have Blanco and Reposado tequila that's really good. It's got some sweetness to it. And a couple rums they make, and a vodka. So I should be getting that in the next week or so.
Can we disclose what you and I did last Thursday?
Absolutely.
Okay, go ahead. Talk about it.
I completely forgot we did that too.
That's because you drank so much whiskey.
I do. Yes, that's the problem.
Yeah.
Last week the guys from
7-3
Distilling, Bywater Bourbon, if you're not familiar with it, they tasted us on about 12. It was like 12 different. It was just way too much. But,
it was a lot.
It started running together, but it was about 10 or 11 different single barrels that they have, their own stuff that they've been doing. Well, some of it was sourced too, but they were just getting our feedback, and they've been going around and tasting other folks on the stuff too. I thought the majority of it was really good, actually.
Yeah, man. It was quite an experience, and the interesting thing when you sip 12 different barrel picks is, even though it's same mash bill, same rick house, just how different all of them could be and were. I would be curious to see what they like to do with all of them, because there was one or two that very clearly stood out from everyone that they have had sample.
Yeah, I mean, for the majority of them were really good, and I don't know if that's the first time you've ever done anything that extensive as far as tasting the same thing over and over and over again. But the first time I did it, it was probably 7-8 years ago, something like that. It changed my whole outlook on bourbon. It showed me that bourbon can be versatile and can be different, even though it's the same exact product across the board. And that's why I promote barrel picks a lot. Even if you have our barrel pick of something, you need to try somebody else's barrel pick, because it could be completely different. And that's the cool thing about bourbon. To me, that's what got me interested. So.
That's a very, very good way to put it. Doing great stuff, man. I love to support great local companies, and they are distilling. A lot of their stuff is being distilled and aged here in Louisiana. So a lot have tried. Not many have done it very successfully here in the state, but maybe 7-3 is the one. I mean, the stuff they're doing so far has been really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing it the way they should. At least, in my humble opinion, they're doing it the way they should at least try to approach it.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Let's see if we can get a couple questions in here for Taylor. You can always email us, tweet us. You can jump in the Buy Ford YouTube chat, or you can text us, 225-396-4400, 396-4400. Craig said, ask Taylor, with Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond finally hitting shelves, any word on Smoke Wagon? They claim before the end of the month. Also, what are some of the other bottles Louisiana might be getting in the near future?
Man, the people that listen to this know way more about what's coming than I do. I focus on stuff that's in the building. I did not know Smoke Wagon was coming either, and I had heard that they were coming about a year ago, and that didn't happen. So I haven't been approached about Smoke Wagon yet.
Remind people what Smoke Wagon is.
Smoke Wagon is out of Las Vegas. I've tried a couple of their expressions. I've tried like a barrel proof expression. I've tried like a small batch 90, 100 proofish.
They have a rye now as well.
I saw the rye on shelves in Kentucky, and I meant to grab one, and I didn't go back to the store we went to like a month ago. So I haven't tried the rye, but the barrel proof that I've tried, and they have a lot of iterations of it. Everything I've tried from them is fantastic. I don't know what it MSRP's at. I don't know what it sits on the shelf at either. So
it's like $80-$85.
That's what I figured.
It's pricey, but it's hard to find, man. Like, you can't get it in Louisiana.
No, it's still not available here, but he says it's coming. I'm gonna have to look into that because I'm not sure. I'm not discrediting that either. It's probably coming because customers know more than I do when it comes to that stuff. They have more time to focus.
We got a minute left, so let me see if I can get two more in. One from Greg said, ask Taylor, what's your preferred morning alcoholic beverage for an early morning sporting event?
I love Bailey's and coffee. That's my jam, man. Or a Bloody Mary.
And one from Jeremy who said, what's a good bourbon for a beginner?
Basil Hayden. Basil Hayden every time. I always said Basil Hayden. Low proof, great flavor, full flavor, easy drinking.
And I'll throw in Elijah Craig small batch because if you may not prefer something that light, you want something a little bolder, get something for less than $30. Go get you an Elijah Craig small batch. All right, yep. Taylor Calandro from Calandro's. We appreciate you, dude. We'll do it again next week.
All right, man. Go Tigers.
All right, man. Be well. That is Taylor Calandro. This is After Further Review. Hump Day Show is brought to you by Pluckers. Here comes Sports Center. Right after Sports Center, head coach of the LSU Tigers, Jay Johnson, will join us from Hoover. That's coming up right after Sports Center. Stay there.
AFR.
I'm Chris Nakamoto, and here's what I'm working on for my stories on WBRZ Channel 2 tonight. Board members at the East Baton Rouge Council on Aging held an emergency meeting today to clarify their check writing policies. It comes after the WBRZ investigative unit exposed the board granted CEO Tasha Clark Amar sole authority to sign checks there, raising questions among watchdogs and employees about oversight. We'll tell you what the board did today. I'm Chris Nakamoto from WBRZ. Watch more tonight on WBRZ Channel 2.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $20,000 off new 22 Ram 1500 SCA trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory, all with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
The importance of doing this Fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like HUDCO, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
You know, we're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance shops, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the Fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a Fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. I think we're rocking and rolling.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This is Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. Police in Tennessee conducted a welfare check on Grizzly star John Morant today following cryptic messages on his Instagram story account. Officials say Morant's fine, just taking a break from social media. He was suspended from all team activities after a video of him holding a gun circulated on social media May 13th. Panthers captain Alexander Barkov returns from a lower body injury tonight. Game 4 NHL East Final against Carolina. Florida's top line getting a major boost. Barkov 16 points in 15 games this postseason, clutch on faceoffs. Hockey Hall of Famer and ESPN NHL analyst Chris Chelios.
He does everything great. He's a solid centerman, offensively, defensively, the captain, the leader. He does it all. And you need depth. And he's part of that depth and a very important part of it. But good news for Florida that he's back. Bad for Carolina.
Florida advances to the Stanley Cup Final with a win. New direction of the Ravens offense sitting just fine with quarterback Lamar Jackson. After his first practice with new Ravens OC Todd Monken, Jackson says he's pleased with the direction of the new scheme.
It's Wrangler season out there. Open roads, endless horizons. Shop Wrangler.com for new denim styles made for your next adventure. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Muso. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. Baseball Tigers beat South Carolina 10-3. Let's open up their stay in Hoover. They advance in the winners bracket. They'll take on the winner of Arkansas and Texas A&M right now. The Hogs of the Grand Slam have pulled ahead of A&M 5-4 as they're headed to the ninth. Let's head to Hoover. Jay Johnson, good enough to spend a couple of minutes with us here after his team emerges victorious. Coach, we always appreciate it. How are you?
Doing good. How you doing today?
Doing fantastic. By the way, do you get to watch the other games after your team plays? Are you going to spend the rest of the day watching the action in Hoover?
Yeah, actually, I go back to my room so I can get more done. So I got the current game on, and then I got my computer going with last weekend's series with both of them to try to maximize our time and get prepared.
For sure. Got to start with Thatcher Herd and the job that he and certainly Ackenhausen did today. I know you've used Thatcher in so many roles, and actually, Coach, we started the show today playing a cut from you at preseason media days where you said, whatever we're going to accomplish, we need Thatcher Herd to be a big part of it. What do you envision as that role for him going forward?
Yeah, he's going to pitch important innings. He can definitely start. I think early in the year he had a great start at Texas. He had one against Butler or Samford at home where that night his stuff was electric and looked like a major league pitcher. We've used him out of the bullpen. You know, he obviously closed out games against Alabama and Auburn, and I just want him to affect winning. He has 5 wins and 3 saves, and, you know, to be a part of 8 winning decisions is a good accomplishment for a pitcher. He had a couple bumps in the road, but he's really hitting his stride now, and we believe he can be one of the best pitchers in the country. And when we got him this summer to choose LSU, I knew it was going to be a big deal, and he's starting to show us why pitching his best here at the end of the year.
You know, Coach, winning a tournament, the strategy is just going to be different than winning a weekend or a series of weekends. How do you, or do you change your strategy with how you use pitchers in tournament play as opposed to during the regular season?
You know, I've always had like a one game at a time mentality, literally my whole coaching career. And what I found was if you approach a regular season like that, like the game in front of you is a playoff game, it actually benefits you once you get to playoff baseball because nobody has has not been prepared for what you're going to have him do, because we'll usually shift guys back and forth because you're playing games one at a time. You saw Thatcher start. You saw him finish. We're confident he can do both. It's the old Gene Hackman line from Hoosiers, don't look to the next step till you've climbed the one in front of you, is how we look at tournament play. Now, this week's obviously a little different because of next week is what we're geared up for, and the NCAA tournament. So we have to be mindful of a few things as we were today with how we set up the pitching. And we'll do that tomorrow and as we move forward here in the SEC tournament.
You were good enough to join us after the Alabama series, and we talked about load management for Paul Skeens, and you hinted then about the possibility of maybe taking it easy on him in Hoover if you had the opportunity. You've locked up a national seed. What will Paul's role be in Hoover this week?
Yeah, he's definitely going to pitch. We haven't decided exactly what day that's going to be, but I think, he's a feel guy. He's a good athlete. He's been a creature of habit, creature of routine. He owns his routine. He does it about as good as everybody or as anybody can. And we feel like it's important to get him up and touch the mound. So he's definitely going to pitch. We're just making sure we hit it at the exact right point.
Do you value, or how do you balance routine, right? Like a guy staying on his normal routine versus rest, meaning you obviously want Paul to be as fresh as possible for next weekend and beyond.
Yeah, for sure. And when we talk about looking at, what we're doing this week, it's all impacts next week. So you have to pay attention to that. The rest, when do you get the extra day? All of those types of things matter. So we're really deliberate at that. We're deliberate at it throughout the season. We do a bunch of recovery tests for all our pitchers, as they throw to tell us, where they're at relative to arm strength, arm health, readiness, availability, all of those things. And he works hard. He recovers well. Ball's flying out of his hand in the bullpen a couple days ago and looks great. And that's a credit to him, his training, and how serious he takes each step.
And it has been something to behold. Jay Johnson is with us for a couple more minutes, good enough to join us from Hoover. We saw Josh Pearson get the start again today. Where is the obviously he's a great ball player. We got to see him last year as well. But what did he show you, the intrinsic value that caused you to make this change this late in the season, last week against Georgia, and now getting him there in the starting lineup?
Well, I think what can't be forgotten is we have a great group of position players, and a lot of guys add value and add different value. And I think that's exciting, not only for the stretch run here and in the postseason, gives us some options, but the future of the program with a lot of the guys I'm referring to that may not be in there every day, they got a chance to be great players. With Josh, he just seems to always affect winning. And, you look at the numbers, they might be down a little bit. I just feel great about our team's chances to win when he is playing. As we started SEC play, winning 2 out of 3 at Texas A&M, winning 2 of 3 against Arkansas. He was in there. You have so many guys that have taken good at bats and played well. We wanted to maximize all of that, but he's just stayed the course, and here he is again, affecting winning in a big way, and we love to see that.
You're right. I mean, he's started 22 games this season, so he's been in there plenty, certainly. A guy who started today behind the dish was Hayden Stravinsky. He's obviously earned his spot in the everyday lineup. You said on the record before that you like him catching Ty Floyd. Do you let do your pitchers ever get a say in who catches them? Like, does Paul say, like, I want Hayden or Alex catching? Do they ever have that say?
We always have conversations, and I actually had this conversation with Coach Burtman not that long ago about, valuing offense over defense, or defense over offense, or, pitcher liking to throw to one guy or another. I mean, we certainly take in the feedback. Ultimately, I'm going to make the best decision that I think what's best for that day for our team to be successful. And it is no different than any other position, but it is different because they touch the ball every pitch, and they're the target, and they're building a rapport with the umpire and with the pitcher. And we've just been in a super fortunate situation this year. I mean, Brady Neal has, missed 7 or 8 weeks with an injury, and we haven't missed a beat because Alex has come in and done a terrific job. Hayden has done a terrific job, and both those guys offensively and defensively. So no matter who we've put back there, they've done a great job for us.
It also, I would assume, when you have Hayden in there, it allows you to sort of have balance with the bats in the lineup, but obviously allows you to get Josh in the lineup like it did today. Is that part of the thinking when you're putting together the 1 through 9?
Yeah, for sure. I spend a lot of time on that, and it's a game-by-game decision. This is not Major League Baseball where, hey, a guy needs to hit in a certain spot to feel comfortable or all those types of things. We look at our player, look at what they're successful at, look at what the pitcher does. How can we make it hard on him, which this lineup's done a great job of all year. Evaluate defense, and a certain pitcher's pitching, you may want more speed in the outfield, that type of thing. If you want a certain guy playing in the infield because a guy hits more pull-side ground balls, we look at all that stuff. And fortunate for us, we have a lot of really good players that can positively affect winning, and this group of position players has done that and allows us lineup flexibility.
You get a chance to do it again tomorrow. 4:30 first pitch. LSU will take on the winner of the game going on right now. Arkansas and Texas A&M. The Hogs leading by 1 there in the ninth. Coach, we appreciate it. Best of luck tomorrow. We'll be watching.
All right. Have a great day.
You do the same. It's our pleasure. That is LSU coach Jay Johnson. Tigers beat South Carolina today 10-3. I don't know that you could have much more efficient of a day. LSU scored 10 runs on 12 hits. Your entire starting 9 got on base today. The only member of the starting 9 that did not get a hit was Jordan Thompson, who got on base twice, walk, hit by pitch, and the walk was in the second inning where he was down 0-2 in the count, fought back, earned the walk, and then Braden Jobert hit the 2-run homer. I mean, we've seen this offense just be so dynamic all year, and I like the explanation of how he puts together the 1 through 9 on a given day. It's not necessarily the comp that he gave there with Major League Baseball where you just look and here's your starting 9, and this person's going to hit in this spot. It's, on a given day, who are you facing? Do you want a faster guy in the outfield, or do you want a bigger bat? We know that Jay likes to alternate lefty-righty in the lineup, which he did today, which he does regularly. So there was a day where, catching Travinsky allowed you to get Travinsky's bat in the lineup and put Pearson in right and Jobert in left and move Texas A&M just hit a homer to tie it and move Trey Morgan to first base and DH Beloso. So you had everybody's bat in the lineup that you wanted in the lineup today because you have that versatility with the amazing position players. The other thing he said, which we do not talk about enough, is we talk about the bats and how good this team is offensively and how great Paul Skeens is, and everyone has the questions about the bullpen and all that stuff. We do not talk enough about the depth among the position players. The fact that you can make a defensive change late in the game and put Paxton Kling in the lineup, who might be a first-round pick next year as a draft-eligible sophomore. You can make a defensive change and put Alex Milazzo in. Josh Stevenson's a guy who is absolutely an everyday SEC outfielder who has really struggled to break through this year because you have so much talent and depth. Man, this team is certainly deep and talented, and you just want to be playing your best at the right time, and they're certainly looking to do that. So they're top 9 in Hoover. 1 out. A&M and Arkansas, but I'd love to see this one go like 17 innings. Can we call that one in? Or Muse, how about if
hit the button on the commercials that make that change the outcome of the games?
Can we maybe get a big rain cloud to come and delay this one 6 hours?
Well, Matt, look, I'll tell you, the forecast today looks immaculate, so maybe it's possible. Because look, that's what we thought for the whole week, and
that's
here
not
we
what we
are.
thought. That's what you said
it's
on
what
Friday,
it was.
and I was like, no, it ain't. It changed.
Anyway. I mean, it did change. 17 innings would be great. I would
love to. Let's see a nice 17-inning game that runs us all the way up until about 8 o'clock tonight. So you know what that would also do, Muse, is potentially push everything tomorrow. So LSU's game would start after our show.
Dude, that'd be perfect.
Would love to see something like that. It'd be great to see. All right, it's after further review. We'll knock out a quick break. We appreciate a couple of minutes from Coach Jay. As far as Paul Skeens said, Paul Skeens will pitch in Hoover. They're very likely going to manage his load. My assumption is they will throw Paul tomorrow. I'll put it this way. I would be surprised if they didn't. That way you keep him on his regular rest from a week ago. You'll keep him on his regular rest, his routine, because he threw last Thursday. It was Thursday to Thursday. I don't think they'll let him throw 100-some-odd pitches. I think you have him on a pitch count. You let him go somewhere in the 3 to 5 inning range based on whatever the pitch count. Essentially a glorified bullpen, and get him out of there. And hopefully you win the game and you take the day off Friday and you run Ty Floyd out there Saturday in a single elimination semifinal. And if you win it, you go into Sunday with Javen Coleman and you're set up with a chance to win the SEC tournament. And if it doesn't work out that way, that's okay too, because the hay is in the barn as far as the national seed. You've got that done. Now it's just about making sure you use this time as a primer to play your best next week and beyond. Okay, it's after further review. Quick break. We'll come back. And, I do want to talk about this. I got some LSU football. A nice bump for an LSU commitment for the class of 2024. I'll talk about that next at AFR.
AFR.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Of course, members of the G team, guys like Gavin Dugas, Gavin Guidry, Trey Morgan. Great members of the G team that are members of the Tigers team as well. Winning today over in Hoover, and certainly continue to wish them luck from all their friends over at Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. As we've said, for more than 30 years, Gordon has been helping injured people in Louisiana. If you've been injured, it's not your fault. You need representation. Don't go at it alone. Get Gordon and get it done. Wherever you are in the state, you can go to getgordon.com or call 888-8888, 888-8888, or go to getgordon.com. Gordon, of course, does so much for people all over the state of Louisiana, the charitable endeavors. He was actually visiting some students over at Port Allen Elementary School. You can check out his social media. You can see Gordon visiting with a lot of those students at Port Allen. Of course, we tell you every day, get Gordon and get it done. Go to getgordon.com, getgordon.com, get Gordon, get it done.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Get 3.99% financing at Corval Toyota in Opelousas on select 2023 models. We also have a large selection of pre-owned inventory. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas. Happy Town, USA.
Turn my music high, 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 high. Yeah.
You don't know what you're doing.
Sure I do. I'm from the streets where the hood can swallow on me. Bullets will follow on me. There's so much that you could run the slalom. And cops comb this top to bottom. They say that we are prone to violence, but it's home sweet home. With personalities clashing, chrome meets chrome. Prices up and down like this Wall Street.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
When Brian Kelly was hired at LSU, we talked about his proficiency in recruiting, developing, and getting to the NFL two positions primarily, which he had shown at a great clip during his time at Notre Dame. And they, of course, were offensive line and tight end. And time and again, Brian Kelly continues to show us and illustrate how good he and his staff are at identifying talent at those positions, recruiting them, and developing them. Of course, we just saw Mason Taylor have an incredible freshman year as LSU's really only viable tight end option. Look at what we saw as that offensive line started to find itself. You had two freshman bookend tackles with Will Campbell and Emory Jones and the development they had throughout their freshman seasons. So it's interesting to me today to see this. Tavion Galloway, who is a tight end commitment for the class of 2024. Again, he's a rising high school senior, so he's going into his senior year, but he's been committed to LSU for some time. Well, 247 Sports updated their recruiting rankings for 2024, and Galloway got a big bump. He tweeted about this. He quote tweeted the daily LSU news account that noted Galloway's gotten a bump in the 247 rankings from number 217 overall to 188. So he raised nearly 30 spots in the overall recruiting rankings for the class of 2024. And I bring this up because, listen, recruiting rankings are what they are. And sometimes the services miss, and sometimes they hit, sometimes they miss, sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong, whatever. But the fact that Galloway has been committed to LSU for so long now, and you're seeing him continue to increase in the recruiting rankings. Like, he committed to LSU last July. He committed July 3rd of 22. So we're coming up on him having been committed to LSU for a full year. And now you're seeing him rise the rankings as he's entering his senior season. He committed the summer between his sophomore and junior years in high school. So point being, Brian Kelly and his staff looked at that kid after his sophomore year of high school and said, yep, he's what we're looking for. This, by the way, Brian Kelly on signing day this year was asked, because they signed 3 tight ends in this class. They needed them. But this is what Brian Kelly said he's looking for when he recruits a tight end.
The tight end position sometimes gets looked at as, are you a ball catcher? Are you an inline, run blocker? I think you have to look at the ability to develop tight ends. And so I've always looked at the ability to develop them from their athletic ability, and then do they have the size to be a complete tight end? So it's easy to say, well, I can get a 6'6" tight end who's 215 pounds and he can be a ball catcher and I can split him out. I prefer not to do that. I prefer to look at somebody that can develop into a complete tight end, that can play in line, that can spread out, that can catch the football, that can do all those jobs and not be one-dimensional.
How about that? He's telling you he looks for projects. He's not looking for the guy that's the big freak body style that can catch the ball. He's looking for a certain skill set that he can develop into a tight end. And clearly he saw it in Galloway. Galloway's 6'5", 230. Look, the height is great. The 230 isn't ideal for a tight end, but that's also a guy who's just rising into his senior season. So the newest player rankings have him as a 4-star, the number 12 tight end in the country, and the number 188 overall prospect, again, according to 247. In the composite, he's the 12th best tight end and nationally number 248. But in 247's rankings, he jumped nearly 30 spots now going into his senior year. And the thing that's so interesting about Brian Kelly's comment there is I think it's indicative when you look at the players that Brian Kelly has recruited and signed at that position. Y'all, Mason Taylor last year was a 3-star. He was the number 51 tight end in the country. Mason Taylor, the guy who caught the game-winning 2-point conversion against Alabama. Mason Taylor, who just had a really dynamic freshman season at LSU, but he's a guy that Brian Kelly and his staff looked at and said, I don't care that he's a 3-star. I don't care that he's ranked the 51st best tight end in the country. He comes in as a freshman, has 38 catches for 414 yards, scores 3 touchdowns, and becomes a really integral part of what LSU is doing. When you look at the tight ends that they've signed for this upcoming class, like Mac Markway, who's already enrolled, but Mac Markway, 4-star, the number 14 tight end in the country, number 240 nationally. He ain't the only one. Jackson McGowan. Jackson McGowan's a 3-star. 3-star, 6'4", 235, sound familiar? Number 555 nationally, the 25th best tight end. Kamorian Pimpton, 6'6", 220, sound familiar? The 9th best tight end in the country. He's a 4-star. But you're not talking about guys that were number 1 in the country. You're talking about guys who have a certain body style, certain skill set that Brian Kelly has shown you over and over and over he knows how to develop. During his time at Notre Dame, Brian Kelly put 8, well, it's going to be 9 now because you've got to include, Michael Mayer was just drafted. So Brian Kelly did recruit him and sign him, although he finished his career playing this past season for Marcus Freeman. But so Mayer becomes the 9th tight end that Brian Kelly recruited and signed during his time at Notre Dame to be drafted into the NFL. But look at this. Kyle Rudolph played defensive back and tight end in high school. He was a 5-star. He's a great player. He signed with the previous staff, but he also played some defensive back. But look at Tyler Eifert. Tyler Eifert was a 3-star. The number 21 tight end in the country, the number 583 overall player in the country. Troy Nicholas was a strong side defensive end in high school who Brian Kelly recruited as a tight end at Notre Dame. Ben Koyak was a 4-star. Durham Smythe was a 4-star who was the number 211 overall in the country. Alize Mack was really the one big prospect they had at tight end. He was the number 1 tight end in the country. Cole Kmet was a 2-sport guy. Played baseball. Remember, we saw Cole Kmet. Played baseball for Notre Dame and also played tight end. We saw him in the bowl game against LSU. Tommy Tremble was a 3-star that was not even ranked nationally. Goes to Notre Dame, gets drafted in the 2021 draft after the COVID season. My point is, like, Brian Kelly, it's not just lip service from Brian Kelly. He's not just saying, okay, where's the 5-star tight end I'm going to recruit him? He's saying, where's the skill set, the body type that I'm looking for that I can develop into a tight end? And it's not lip service because you've seen him do it over and over and over. He's doing it right now with Mason Taylor, and you're seeing it with Tavion Galloway. Galloway's a guy that was a 3-star when they signed. He's now up to a 4-star, and he's rising in the rankings because more and more people are starting to see what Brian Kelly has seen. And you've seen it over and over and over again. Just this is the next example of a guy that Brian Kelly, of exactly what Brian Kelly is looking for. When you've got that much of a track record that speaks to your ability to know what skill set you're looking for, get them on campus, develop them, get them drafted, I mean, you don't really need much more validation than everything Brian Kelly's shown you. If he's signing you as a tight end, chances are you're going to get to the league because he knows what he's looking for. Tavion Galloway looks like he's going to be next. Okay. It's after further review. Love telling you about Michelli Weighing and Measurement. Michelli.com. Got a text into the show the other day. A gentleman who lives in Louisiana, has offices all over the country for the company he works for, one of them in Las Vegas. They needed some precision measurement devices calibrated. Who did they call? Michelli Weighing and Measurement. So no matter where you are in the country, and look, I see the heat maps of where people listen, watch on YouTube, listen on our app, listen on demand. People in all 50 states listen to our station. So no matter where you are listening around the country, Michelli Weighing and Measurement can help you. Go to Michelli.com, Michelli.com. They got 30 offices across 11 different states, but no matter where you are, they can calibrate your precision measurement devices for you. Just go to the website. You can learn more about Michelli Weighing and Measurement, Michelli.com. That's Michelli.com. All right, y'all, it's after further review. Been a good show so far. We're halfway home. Thanks to Jay Johnson, who was here at the top of hour number 2. If you missed that, you can always go back and listen on demand. AFR On Demand presented by Brett Golf. We did open up the show today with our thoughts on LSU beating South Carolina. We did talk some Saints OTAs, if you missed that. Foster Moreau spoke with the media today after practice. Great to see Foster out there. Remember, you miss anything, you can always catch it on demand via podcast. Just search After Further Review, or on the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel, or the After Further Review YouTube channels. You can catch all the content there. Okay, let me knock out a break. We'll do some overrated, underrated. Muse will have Tigers in the pros. We will head back to Hoover as we're keeping an eye on Texas A&M and Arkansas. They're into extra innings. They're now in the 10th. Texas A&M does have the leadoff batter on base here. So runner on first, nobody out, top of the 10th inning. LSU will get the winner of this game tomorrow at a scheduled 4:30 Central Time first pitch. All right, stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. Give them a buzz today, 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. Tell you every day to look for the big yellow vans and trucks with a giant clock on the side. You can't miss them, and you'll see a technician that's expertly trained, ready to treat you right, like they did for Regina Bornslater, who sent this 5-star review, said, the air conditioner vent in my room had not been blowing air in 2 years. River City's 1 Hour came out, adjusted something. I got air in my room that day. I'm so thankful. They did a great job. I appreciate River City's 1 Hour Air. Another 5-star Google review for River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. You can get the preseason AC tune-up. If your AC's not keeping up, call River City's 1 Hour Air. Nights, holidays, weekends, they'll never charge you extra to come out. 752-0001.
Bayou Ford has $15,000 off plus 0.9% APR for 60 months on all new 22 Ford F-150 SCA trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
The best.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Thanks for joining us. If you're just knocking off of work, maybe heading home, if you weren't able to keep an eye on the LSU game earlier today, Tigers beat South Carolina in Hoover 10-3. Thatcher Herd was magnificent. He went 5 1/3, 12 up, 12 down to start the game. Gave up a leadoff homer to Ethan Petrie to start the 5th inning, then a single. But then after that, retired the Gamecocks 3 in a row to get through the 5th. Got the first batter of the 6th, then allowed 4 straight to reach, 2 hits, 2 walks. That was the end of the day for Thatcher Herd. Sam Dutton walked in one batter, bases loaded, walked in a run, and then brought in Nate Ackenhausen, who not only got out of the 6th, but went the rest of the way. So 3 2/3 from Ackenhausen to finish it, and LSU wins it 10-3. Thatcher Herd, after the game, talked about the early start in the day that he had there in Hoover.
Yeah, I mean, our strength coach and all our coaches did a great job of they got us up early yesterday to get us in the flow of an early start. So, it felt easy waking up this morning, and, I'll wake up to pitch any day, so I was excited to go. The benefit of the 9:30 start is you know exactly when you're going to play. And LSU may be waiting it out a little bit tomorrow. So we'll see. Or maybe that's just me selfishly hoping they wait it out a little bit tomorrow. Hey, look, I had to go head up against 2 games last week, all right?
It's happened a lot this year. It's happened also when you haven't been here. When I filled in for you, I had to go up against a couple. When they played
when was I not here?
Round Rock, the Kansas State game was at 2.
Oh, I was in. That's when I went to Napa.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was another one. Southern.
Oh, I watched that one on the plane.
Opening day. Opening day was head up against. They moved
opening day.
Yeah, to 3 o'clock.
Arkansas.
Game
1 against Arkansas
lot this year, man.
The Friday, not a game 1. The Friday game against Arkansas. That was game 1. Yeah. Yeah, there have been quite a few.
There have been more than normal, we'll say. More than normal. Normally, it's only like...
Oh, give me a break!
Normally, it's only like this time of year where they're in a tournament or...
Yeah! I'm pulling for a nice long rain delay tomorrow morning. How about the second game?
Or this game. Just keep going.
Well, yeah. No, this game, yes. This game can go 17. Just let this game go into the wee hours so everything gets pushed back tomorrow. I would love to see LSU play tomorrow in a primetime game. Yes, please, give me that. Without cause for any of the consequences that may come subsequent. I don't really care. But right now, if you're not familiar, Arkansas, Texas A&M, LSU's going to play the winner of this game. They're tied at 5 right now. They're in the bottom of the 10th. A&M got the leadoff man on in the top of the 10th, but couldn't get him home. So they're in the bottom of the 10th now with A&M and Arkansas knotted at 5. A&M was leading 4-1. Arkansas had a grand slam to go up 5-4. And then A&M homered in the top of the 9th, solo shot to tie it, and now we're in extras. And yes, LSU wants this game to go very, very, very long and let both these teams use a lot of pitching the rest of the way. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're with us. Brought to you by Traction Sports, TractionSports.com, TractionSports.com. I want to remind you, summer baseball and summer baseball camps. The Summer Baseball League, they practice 1 night a week, play 1 night a week. So it's not nearly the grind that it can be with all the weekends of the tournaments and everything all throughout the spring. So even if your son doesn't play in the traction leagues during the spring, that's fine. If they want to play in the summer baseball league, they can play at Traction, even if they're playing for a different league during the spring. TractionSports.com. Now, parents, if you need your kids to go to summer camp, Traction has summer baseball camps. They have full and half-day options for a lot of different weeks, multiple sessions. Get all the info at TractionSports.com, TractionSports.com. They're registering right now, so get to TractionSports.com. Traction, where champions are made. All right, Muse, let's do a little overrated, underrated.
Overrated or underrated?
I personally think he's criminally underrated.
All right, here we go. Overrated or underrated? I feel like I should have done this one a couple weeks ago.
Overrated.
But it's still on the list, so we'll do it.
Underrated.
Overrated or underrated? The draft lottery.
The NBA draft lottery.
The NBA draft lottery,
Well, of course, there's no other draft lottery. At least not that I'm aware of.
I don't think there is.
I think the NBA draft lottery is, I don't mean for this to be a cop-out, but I think it's properly rated. I think the pushback on it is that, or the benefit that people will say is that it prevents teams from tanking. However, we still see teams tank.
Yes.
Because if you tank, you're probably going to end up with a top 4 pick. And sometimes there are years where it doesn't really matter because even if you have a top 4 pick, you could end up with Anthony Edwards. You know what I mean? You could end up with a guy that maybe isn't worthy of a number 1 pick, whereas in a year like this where you know you got Webby there at the number 1 overall pick, it really plays out for you if you end up getting lucky. But look, San Antonio didn't have the worst record in the NBA, and they still end up with the number 1 pick. So I just think it's properly rated. It's just kind of a thing that exists and whatever. Now, the play-in tournament, underrated. That is a phenomenal idea, and anyone that disagrees with that, foolish.
Haven't we had that one before?
I don't know.
I think I've asked you that before, actually. I'm not sure. I like it, too. Overrated or underrated? Vanna White.
Underrated. Now, 20 years ago, she was in a song by Nelly. Paying cash, first class, sitting next to Vanna White.
Yes, indeed.
It was Ride With Me, if you're not familiar. Vanna White has been on our televisions for 40 years. For a woman who is into her 60s now, still looks incredible. My son is a diehard Wheel of Fortune fan at 9 years old. It's basically all the octogenarians in this country and my son are the only people that love Wheel of Fortune. But Vanna White continues to transcend decades. Did you know this story that years ago the network wanted to replace Vanna? They wanted someone younger. And Pat Sajak said, if she goes, I go.
I go, yeah, one of those things.
How about that?
Yeah.
So Pat Sajak was like, as long as we do this, Vanna's doing this. So Vanna White, underrated, transcending. How old is she?
I thought
you were looking it up.
I think you're right. I think she is in her 60s.
Oh, she's in her 60s. I'm 100% certain of that.
Vanna White is 66.
66
years old.
Looking great at 66. Good on you, Vanna.
Is it you that doesn't like the song Ride With Me that much? Somebody I know does not like that song very much.
I hate it.
So it is you. Why? It's a good. You just quoted a line from it.
I've heard it. It doesn't mean I like it.
But it's a good song.
I've heard it too much.
All right. Overrated or underrated? Big weekend for this right here. Overrated or underrated? Day drinking.
Why is it a big weekend for this?
It's Memorial Day weekend. Pool parties, barbecues. Big weekend for day drinking.
In Louisiana, that's just a day that ends in Y.
But there's other weekends that are, 4th of July is another one, right? Labor Day. There's weekends that are bigger for it than others.
What did you do last Saturday, Muse?
Last Saturday, I watched LSU play Georgia and then went and helped my mom around the house, actually.
And were you drinking beer when you watched LSU play Georgia?
I was not, actually.
Saturday, I
might have helped.
Saturday, I spent all day by the pool watching LSU Georgia and drinking margaritas.
It's a good day.
All day. Yeah, day drinking's fine. I have no problem with day drinking whatsoever. As long as it's not like during the week and impacting your ability to do your job. Like, don't drink on the job unless your job is to drink, but which would be a cool job.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, day drinking's fine.
So, properly rated for you? I mean,
yeah. If you drink during the day, and that's cool. If you don't, you don't. That's cool too.
All right.
I'm not going to encourage someone to drink that doesn't want to drink. I'm also not going to discourage people from having a glass of wine at lunch or a beer. If you're at a business lunch and you want to have a cocktail, okay, I got no problem with that whatsoever. I think it's fantastic. Go get it.
All right. That's overrated or underrated.
Okay. This is After Further Review. Our Hump Day shows are brought to you by Pluckers. Ooh, Muse, about 45 minutes from right now. We got some Pluckers trivia for you. How you feeling?
Feeling pretty good. What are we looking at today? You think I got a good shot at it, or? I mean, you never really do.
That's true.
Outside of a few weeks.
Yeah, I I mean, I think you might get one.
We'll take it.
There's one I think you might have a shot at, but I'm not super confident in you there on this one.
All right.
But
as is tradition.
Good night, though, tonight, man. A little Oliver twist tonight, some scone and tea. A little Pluckers trivia night at either location. A little SEC tournament. A lot going on. All right, it's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Clegg's Nursery. So I mentioned this past Saturday we were out by the pool all day. Naturally, we had some friends come over, and you just did a pool day. And naturally, we had to have the outside looking good. So we went to Clegg's. Erica bought a whole bunch of flowers, put them in the patio pots all over the outside, some by the pool, one by the water feature on the pool, all that sort of stuff. We had to get some wasp spray and some wasp nests outside. So naturally got that, of course. Clegg's, partner of True Value Hardware Store. You get anything that you find at a True Value Hardware Store, you also get at Clegg's. We also got the mosquito barriers that I tell you about all the time. It's so easy. It's called Aeon, A-I-O-N. Same product I've told you about forever, just new name. Just go to Clegg's and say, where's the mosquito thing Moscona talks about? They'll know. Fill it up with water, shake it up, hang it on your property line, done with mosquitoes for 90 days at a time. You get it all at Clegg's Nursery. 4 locations. Buy local, shop local. Clegg's Nursery.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $20,000 off new 22 Ram 1500 SCA trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
I'm Chris Nakamoto, and here's what I'm working on for my stories on WBRZ Channel 2 tonight. Board members at the East Baton Rouge Council on Aging held an emergency meeting today to clarify their check writing policies. It comes after the WBRZ investigative unit exposed the board granted CEO Tasha Clark Amar sole authority to sign checks there, raising questions among watchdogs and employees about oversight. We'll tell you what the board did today. I'm Chris Nakamoto from WBRZ. Watch more tonight on WBRZ Channel 2.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down on my last dime. Come home, live Baton Rouge. Operator, what you put me on through? Gotta send my love down the
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Piggies might be just about to put this one away. 2nd and 3rd, 1 out for Arkansas. Tie game, bottom of the 10th. We will keep you posted. Oh, is this going to be a safety squeeze? Oh, squared around the bunt. Pulled it back. Let's see. All right, Muso Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now. Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, where Baton Rouge gets engaged.
All right, we'll start in the major leagues. Last night, the Cincinnati Reds fell to the St. Louis Cardinals. Cardinals are hot all of a sudden. Jake Fraley, though.
All of a sudden. It's been a minute now, dog.
Yeah, but I kind of wanted to wait and see if it was going to be like a 1-week deal or not. And, no, Cardinals are winning games. They're winning games.
I got him!
Did they safety squeeze?
Out at the plate! Wow!
Is that Josenberger? I think that is Josenberger. Yikes. He's a good runner, too.
And he's holding his arm, like not moving it, almost like he got injured. Hold on.
You mean an Arkansas player got injured?
Hold on. I know, right? Popped up the bunt to the pitcher who went home, and they got him.
Oh, God.
Wow.
It did look like he slid shoulder first into the catcher's shin, didn't it?
Let's see.
Yeah, that hurts.
That hurts.
Right into the knee.
And then he went, Scorpion. He scorpioned it with his legs. Oh.
He did. Jake Fraley went 1 for 4 last night with a double.
We're headed to 17.
His seventh double of the year. It also drove in a run, but of course, as we said, the Reds they lost the game. Last night, DJ LeMahieu contributed to the New York Yankees' victory over the Baltimore Orioles. 1 for 5 for DJ. Single and a RBI for LeMahieu in the game as well. He was then lifted later for a pinch runner IKF. And
they also had him bunt with a runner at third.
How'd that make you feel?
Well, considering that they pegged Glaber at home, made me feel very angry.
Kind of like that guy from Arkansas.
Why are you asking DJ LeMahieu to bunt?
Yeah.
Stupid.
That's not a thing.
Again, all of you think. Look what just happened. They tried to safety squeeze a runner. Never bunt.
Well, especially
Swing
DJ.
Away.
I mean, a guy who's won a batting title in each league.
You didn't even mention him.
Wouldn't take the bat out of his
I didn't even mention it. I didn't even mention it. What was it, the fifth? LSU's big inning was the fifth?
Yeah. Yes, that was the 4-run fifth. Correct.
Yeah. Remember what happened? Joe Bayer led off with a single, runner on first. They were trying to bunt Dugas to get Joe Bayer to second. He couldn't get the bunt down twice. Fouled it in the ground, fouled it down third baseline. What happened? Swung away. What happened, Muse?
He lined one to center field.
Liner to center.
He did.
Yeah, first and second, nobody outs is better than runner on second with 1 out. Anyway. Never bunt. Swing away. It feels like the right thing to do. How many more times can I say this? Statistically, it is not. It is proven. There's a reason that Major League Baseball, nobody bunts anymore. 40-year lows in bunts. Muse, why? They have great analytics now. They know it ain't the right thing to do. It feels like the right thing. It is not the right thing to do. Swing away.
Cade Doty went 1 for 4 yesterday in the Canadiens' victory over Spokane.
I'm not done. Old boy threw 2 wild pitches, remember? He threw 2 wild pitches.
Yes.
Then that was later. They were trying to get Pearson to bunt.
Yeah.
2 wild pitches instead of bunting to second to get the runner and out of first. Wild pitch. Runner at third. Nobody out.
Oh.
Go have a competitive at bat. Maybe they throw a wild pitch.
Then I think Pearson
Maybe they commit an error. He walked. Maybe they commit an error.
Yeah.
Maybe you get a hit. You get a single. You get a double. You get a triple. You can walk. You get hit by pitch.
You can be third, fourth, fifth. Hell, you can even be fifth. Cade Doty.
You gonna say it again?
No. not gonna get got again. Cade Doty went 1 for 4 yesterday in the Canadiens' victory over Spokane. It was a double, his 6th of the year. Also drove in a run, and he would come around to score. Solid effort there from Cade Doty. Oh, here we go. Been waiting for this. Been waiting for this. The Brooklyn Cyclones last night, they got a dub. Paul Gervais got his first hold of the season. 2 shutout innings for the 7-footer. One hit, one walk,
He ain't
punched
7
out
foot.
3. Whoa, sorry, what, he was like 6'11"? Punched out 3. First hold of the year. ERA now down to 0.52 for Paul Gervais. Daniel Cabrera, big night. 2 for 3, 2 singles, 2 runs scored, and 2 RBI. And Jake Slaughter hit his 9th home run of the season, part of a 2 RBI effort and a run scored in his game. That's Tigers in the Pros. Brought to you by Lee Michael Fine Jewelry. LMFJ.com.
Yeah! Thanks for doing the read, Muse. Although you didn't really do much reading.
AFR.
All right. And as I said last week, if she moved her body like a cyclone, put a ring on it. A ring from Lee Michaels. All right. We're brought to you by Shawbill's Tire and Auto Service. As Muse mentioned, we are coming up on Memorial Day weekend. A lot of people do, in fact, get on the road. I noticed a report this morning that this is supposed to be the biggest travel holiday in this country since pre-COVID. So people are going to be hitting the road. If you're getting on the road this weekend, make sure you bring your vehicle to Shawbill's. You need the oil change, bring it to Shawbill's. You need your tires rotated, bring it to Shawbill's. Maybe you need new tires before you hit the road. Nobody's going to sell you the best tires on the road cheaper than Shawbill's. 18 locations across South Louisiana. Newest location in LaPlace. Find the location nearest you. Shop tires online. ShawbillsTire.com. ShawbillsTire.com. Remember, for more than 50 years, Shawbill's, where we keep you rolling.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
The importance of doing this Fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like HUDCO, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
You know, we're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance shops, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the Fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a Fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. I think we're rocking and rolling.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Breaking news. Stars won't have forward Jamie Benn in a must-win Game 4 NHL West Final tomorrow. Suspended 2 games by the NHL for cross-checking in last night's loss to Vegas. Panthers captain Alexander Barkov returns from a lower body injury. Game 4 East Final tonight versus the Hurricanes. Florida with a win onto the Stanley Cup Final. 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy, coming back from UCL surgery, said today his arm's feeling good. Goals to be ready for the start of the season, but he's taking the injury day by day. Until Purdy's back, lots of Trey Lance and Sam Darnold, giving the 49ers options, explains ESPN's Dan Graziano.
If Lance shows something in the offseason and preseason games, he may be a guy that becomes of interest to other teams, and maybe the 49ers can get something for him in a trade. Or maybe if Brock Purdy has a setback, they end up going with Lance if he has a promising offseason. And then they have Darnold there as well, who has the experience in case they have to use him.
George Washington University announced its sports teams will now be known as the Revolutionaries, replaces Colonials. Officials determined last year that the name no longer unified the community.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Looking for a career you'll love with flexibility, great pay, and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces? Come join their growing team. Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online today.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Yusuf. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us. LSU beat South Carolina in Hoover earlier today, 10-3. They advance into the winners bracket. And as a matter of fact, Arkansas just walked off Texas A&M with a homer. Homer in the bottom of the 11th, and LSU will play Arkansas tomorrow at 4:30 Central Time for a scheduled first pitch. It'll be the third game of the day tomorrow. But as you're seeing here, weird things can happen in the SEC tournament, as today's Game 3 was supposed to start at 4:30. It's presently after 5 o'clock, and the Game 2 is now just ending. So, solo shot for Arkansas. They beat A&M 6-5. So, LSU, Arkansas tomorrow, 4:30 Central, scheduled first pitch at the SEC tournament. The big question for LSU for tomorrow will be if Paul Skeens does, in fact, get the ball. Jay Johnson was here 1 hour ago, and I asked him what the plan was for Paul Skeens here at the SEC tournament.
He's definitely going to pitch. You know, we haven't decided exactly what day that's going to be, but I think, he's a field guy. He's a good athlete. He's been a creature of habit, creature of routine. He owns his routine. He does it about as good as everybody or as anybody can. And we feel like it's important to get him up and touch the mound. So he's definitely going to pitch. We're just making sure we hit it at the exact right point.
So you heard Jay say there he's a creature of habit. Routine for Paul Skeens is as important as any pitcher he's seen. So the real question becomes, at this point, routine or rest for Paul Skeens, and kind of how do you balance that?
When we talk about looking at, what we're doing this week, it's all impacts next week. So you have to pay attention to that. The rest, when do you get the extra day, all of those types of things matter. So we're really deliberate at that. We're deliberate at it throughout the season. We do a bunch of recovery tests for all our pitchers, as they throw to tell us, where they're at relative to arm strength, arm health, readiness, availability, all of those things. And he works hard. He recovers well. Ball's flying out of his hand in the bullpen a couple days ago, and looks great, and that's a credit to him, his training, and how serious he takes each step.
When do you get the extra day? You heard Jay say that. So if you're just following the schedule, the routine, so Skeens pitched a week ago Thursday, at Georgia, game 1 at Georgia. So he pitched on Thursday. If he were to pitch tomorrow in the SEC tournament, that would be his regular routine, right? His regular rest. So the extra day then would come next week. Presumably, Skeens would pitch on Saturday of the regional in the marble game for LSU. He's not going to pitch the opener, the 1-4 matchup. You can throw anybody in the 1-4. So you could very much take an approach like you did today. You could throw Thatcher Herd out there in the 1-4. You could throw Blake Money in the 1-4. There's a lot of options you have. But you most certainly would save Paul Skeens till next Saturday for what you presume would be the marble game of the regional. So if he throws Thursday and then doesn't throw again until next Saturday, well, if Skeens is a guy who's a creature of routine and habit, and routine matters, eventually he's going to get the extra day, but you give it to him here and let him throw potentially Friday. But here's the potential. I'm just walking you through what Jay is thinking right now. So let's say you don't throw Skeens tomorrow. Let's say you don't throw Skeens on Thursday and you win. Well, you get Friday off, meaning you wouldn't throw Skeens until Saturday. So do you give him the extra rest now on the front end and then he throws next Saturday in the regional? Or do you throw him tomorrow on Thursday and then give him the extra rest on the front end of the regional, which is, I think, what they're going to do. I also don't think you're going to see Jay talked about this with us here a month ago. When LSU beat Alabama, I guess it hadn't been quite a month, but when LSU beat Alabama, they won that series in Baton Rouge. And we had Jay on the next day, and I asked him about Skeens. Because keep in mind, at that point, LSU still hadn't lost the series to Auburn yet. I mean, at that point, they're the number 1 team in the country. They're locked to be a national seed, all that stuff. And I asked him about how you manage Skeens and load management and all that sort of stuff. And he said, look, and he hinted at the fact that they'd like to get him an opportunity to maybe get some rest at the SC tournament if they've got everything locked up, which they do. I mean, LSU is a national seed. That is done. The hay is in the barn. So I'm going to assume Jay is holding true to that, and you're not going to throw Paul Skeens, 100-plus pitches tomorrow. I think you throw Paul Skeens tomorrow in what would amount to a glorified bullpen. You go 3 to 5 innings, somewhere in that mix, depending on what your pitch count for Paul you'd like to see. Do you want him to get out there and throw 50 pitches? Okay, well, if it's 50 pitches, is that somewhere in 3 to 5 innings? Do you want him to throw 75 pitches? Whatever that number is that they like to see. So you get Skeens out there tomorrow. You let him throw whatever limited outing that they want him to throw. So he gets his work in his routine, but you don't overwork him and you give him extra time to recover before next week. That's my assumption what they'll do, is that they'll start Paul Skeens against Arkansas tomorrow. He'll go with a limited outing, a limited start. They'll have him on a pitch count and then let him get whatever rest he needs heading into next week's regional at the box. So it'll be LSU and Arkansas. Nothing formal from Jay. He said they'll make that decision coming up soon. But my assumption is Paul Skeens goes tomorrow with a little bit of an abbreviated start against Arkansas, because I think what you wouldn't want to happen is for Skeens to have to wait until Saturday to pitch. In theory, LSU could lose to Arkansas tomorrow. You play on Friday, and then that makes sense. He gets an extra day this week and one extra day next week. But if you beat Arkansas, which is the hope, then Skeens wouldn't pitch until Saturday. So just kind of a lot of things that they're weighing right now as they head into tomorrow at the SEC tournament. All right, it's after further review. Love telling you about Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Do business with someone you know. That's us, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Check us out online. I tell you all the time as well, if you want to email me directly, you can. It's matt@HudcoRoofing.com. I'm happy to help facilitate anything that you may need. Trust me, you don't want me on your roof, but I certainly know the people within our business, our company, that you would love to have on your roof. It's Hudco Roofing. Tell you every day, do business with someone you know. The thing I got to stress, fortified roofing. With a fortified roof, you can save as much as 52% on your homeowner's insurance, depending on who your insurance provider is. As much as 52% you could save on your homeowner's insurance with a fortified roof. You got to learn more about this, y'all. In the state of Louisiana, the legislature right now is in session, and they are considering a legislation that would make this mandatory in Louisiana. We'd love to explain it to you, how you can save money, how you can protect not only your family, but your home, your belongings on the interior as well. Go to HUDCOroofing.com, click the Fortify tab if you want to learn more. Give us a shout. 364-1007, 364-1007, or HUDCOroofing.com. Do business with someone you know, HUDCO Roofing and HUDCOroofing.com. Okay, it's after further review. Real quick, a couple other observations from today's game. Thatcher Herd was magnificent, went 5 1/3. By the way, last week we did find out that Thatcher Herd, if you were watching the game last week when he followed Skeens on Thursday, there was the TV cameras caught a close-up of Herd's glove, and it had Paul Skeens' name on it. So they did ask Herd today after the game if he was using Paul Skeens' glove. Here's what he said.
Yeah, I was. I've been using that past couple outings. Broke mine the other week, and so I'm just keep riding with it. It's got good mojo.
A good mojo indeed. Anything that might get you closer to Paul Skeens, certainly not a bad thought. So LSU will get some rest today, get off their feet after playing this morning, and they'll get back out there tomorrow afternoon, early evening, to take on Arkansas at the SEC tournament. All right, y'all, it's after further review. We're going to do some Pluckers trivia at the bottom of this hour like we do every Wednesday. When we come back, though, Brian Kelly, during his time at LSU, has been magnificent. But he might have one whiff. And I think we saw more evidence of that today. I'll talk about it next at AFR.
AFR.
Hey, y'all have been hearing me talk about New Orleans flooring for months now. You've heard me talk about how at New Orleans flooring, because they keep their inventory in stock, they can pass the savings along to you. At New Orleans flooring, you can save 40, 50, 60% on the same flooring you're buying at other places. And if for some reason, whatever reason, maybe you've still been putting it off, well, you're lucky, because Saturday is the day. They've got new inventory coming in June, and so they have got to make room. So they are having a sale on Saturday. It's their Memorial Day. They're calling it their blowout sale. Saturday, 8 to noon. This Saturday, 8 a.m. to noon at New Orleans Flooring, Airline Highway in Prairieville. Again, this Saturday, 8 a.m. to noon, the New Orleans Flooring blowout sale from 8 to noon. NOLAflooring.com.
Bayou Ford has $15,000 off plus 0.9% APR for 60 months on all new 22 Ford F-150 SCA trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Turn my music high, 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 high. Yeah. You don't know what you're doing. Sure I do. I'm from the streets where the hood can swallow on me. Bullets will follow on me. There's so much that you could run the slalom. The cops comb this top to bottom. They say that we are prone to violence, but it's home sweet home. With personalities clash and chrome meets chrome. Prices up and down like this Wall Street.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
So Brian Kelly's been LSU's head football coach for about 18 months. And pretty much everything he has done has come up aces. Polished off his first recruiting class, had the best transfer class in the country, brought in Jaden Daniels, hired a great staff, won the SEC West, beat Bama, went into this offseason, another great recruiting class, started to rebuild the fence around Louisiana. And it's really just been a lot of building brick on top of brick on top of brick, not only having laid that foundation, which was there, but building the gigantic structure on top of the foundation, the championship structure. But if there's one whiff, it might be this one. When Brian Kelly was hired, he did not retain Greg McMahon as his special teams coordinator. And McMahon today was hired as the special teams coordinator at Tulane. Many of you are familiar, but McMahon was at LSU for 5 seasons. He was a special teams analyst for LSU in 2017, and special teams at LSU went very poorly in 2017. And so then they promoted McMahon from analyst to the full-time special teams coordinator job on field, which he held 18 through 21 when Ed Orgeron was fired. And then, of course, Brian Kelly came in and didn't retain anybody from Orgeron's staff. And, I shouldn't say that. They did. Retained Brad Davis as the offensive line coach, but didn't retain Greg McMahon. And McMahon went on and has spent the last year in both the USFL and the XFL. So the 2022 USFL season, he was with the Houston Gamblers, and then this 2023 XFL season, he was with the Houston Roughnecks. So the professional football teams in Houston with the USFL and the XFL. And everybody knows McMahon was with the Saints for a long stint. From 2008 to 2016, he was the Saints special teams coordinator. I remember last year when Brian Kelly was hired and then he put his staff together. T-Bob and I were doing the Scone and T podcast. And we did an exercise where when Kelly had finished his staff, we did a side-by-side comparison of every member of the staff. Offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, D-line, linebacker, secondary coach, all the way through. Offensive line, quarterback, tight ends, running backs, everything. Like the entire staff. And every single spot on the staff under Kelly we both agreed was an upgrade over the previous staff. Every spot except one. And it was special teams coordinator, where, of course, you had Brian Polian coming in, replacing Greg McMahon at special teams coordinator. Now, we could also talk about the secondary, where Corey Raymond was magnificent in building DBU. And that, we might have said that was a second as well. But it was very obvious, considering experience, accolades, everything, the way that Greg McMahon had built up LSU's special teams. Look, he's the guy that went and identified Cole Tracy. He found Cole Tracy. He's the one who got Avery Atkins here as a walk-on, who became your kickoff specialist. Greg McMahon's the one who recruited Cade York, who became the best kicker in the history of the program. So Greg McMahon deserves a tremendous amount of credit. And I've said, and I've maintained, that I believe Greg McMahon was Ed Ogeron's best hire. When Ed got the job, he was the interim for part of the 2016 season, and literally the day after he was hired, if you don't remember this, not that you need the history lesson, but, I mean, literally, Ed Ogeron was hired on a Saturday. Sunday, he fired Bradley Dale Pivito, who was Les Miles' special teams coordinator. And he did not hire a special teams coordinator. He tried to do what Brian Kelly is attempting to do this year, which was just kind of piece it together. They brought in McMahon. McMahon would coach as an analyst. McMahon would coach the coaches, and then the coaches would try to do the job on the field, and it went very badly. That was the year where you had Connor Culp and Jack Gonsolin kicking, and you never found stability there, and special teams was very bad for LSU in 2017. And as a result, Ogeron moved McMahon into a full-time on-field role, and I think that's the best decision he made. I mean, McMahon was spectacular. And, Brian Kelly coming in, I understand. You want to bring in your guys. And he saw tremendous value in Brian Polian and having him on staff, and they found a role for him as the special teams coordinator and recruiting coordinator, but really he was Kelly's right hand. And the other thing that is very clear is when Polian moved out, which he had to be moved off the field. You can't be – we went through these numbers. LSU with a special teams efficiency rating, which is a metric that combines all of the special teams units for an efficiency rating, LSU was 125th in the country out of 131 last year. 125 out of 131. You could not justify bringing back Brian Polian in that role. You had to move on, which they did. So they moved Polian into the GM role, and now he's left to go be an athletic director. But the other side of that is it was very clear that when you brought John Jancic over from Georgia, he was always going to be on the field this year. He was going to do 1 year as an analyst, and then you were going to move him on the field. And those types of handshake deals happen all the time in coaching. And I want to be abundantly clear. I think having John Jancic on staff is magnificent. That guy has been a defensive coordinator at Tennessee, at Colorado State. He's been all over. He was at Georgia. I mean, he's got a tremendous amount of experience, and having him on your staff is a great asset. And they've got him coaching the jack linebackers, but splitting up the special teams role this year, I think shows, honestly, disrespect to the third phase of the game, especially when it was as bad as it was a year ago. To not bring in a guy who is masterful at that to fix it is a little short-sighted. And I sincerely hope that doesn't bite LSU this year. But it's hard not to look at Greg McMahon, who was here, who was magnificent in that role for a half decade, who brought some of the best specialists this program has ever produced. And I understand a coach is going to come in and wants to hire his own staff, and he deserves that right. And of course, Brian Kelly has that right. But shuffling Greg McMahon out was a miss. That was a whiff. Brian Kelly hadn't had many of them in his time at LSU. That might be it. That and the Texas A&M loss. I mean, that might be it through 18 months. But seeing Greg McMahon back in collegiate coaching, back in Louisiana at Tulane, makes you you long a little bit for it, because you realize that's a guy that probably would have stayed at LSU. I'm sure would have loved to have stayed at LSU. Would have been making more money than he's going to make at Tulane. I'm sure was comfortable here as well. But if it wasn't McMahon, somebody else. But I sincerely hope that this isn't a lesson that Brian Kelly needs to learn twice. Hope they're able to get special teams in order here in 2023, because You would hate to have a team that has all the makings of a championship contender. All the makings. The veteran quarterback, the talented offensive players, a versatile veteran defense that you've supplemented with a lot of really good transfer players, to have a schedule that's in your favor, all these things in your favor, but you neglect the third phase and it costs you. Here's hoping it doesn't. But Greg McMahon hired today at Tulane to be their special teams coordinator. You can't help but wonder. Okay, it's after further review. Love telling you about the aesthetic medicine and anti-aging clinics in Louisiana. I'll get over there tomorrow. Usually go on Fridays. That's the day I go for my HRT injections. Go once a week. If you want to learn more about hormone replacement therapy, it's been amazing for me. It's worked wonders, not just for me, but for hundreds and hundreds of men, thousands in the greater Baton Rouge area and in Lafayette. The aesthetic medicine and anti-aging clinics of Louisiana, not just men, women as well. No matter your age, if you're a man or a woman, if you're young or old, it's more about how you feel. As we age, part of the aging process, our body produces less of the hormones that contribute to how we feel. So maybe you don't sleep well at night. I mean, it could be Samorelin, which is a growth hormone. And a small supplement of that could help you feel better, sleep better at night, wake up more refreshed. There's so many different things that a simple blood test can tell Dr. Todd Howell of how to safely and affordably supplement you to get you back to a healthy level. Learn more at theantiagingclinics.com. Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge, Ambassador Caffrey in Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. That's theantiagingclinics.com. All right, it is after further review. We're cruising along here. We get to Otter Locks in about 15 minutes from right now. Jimmy will be along with us. Muse, did you check how the Otter did last night by any chance?
Not entirely. Let's see. He had the Heat. That didn't hit. Celtics won that one. He had the over in the Red Sox-Angels game, and that didn't hit either because that was a 4-0 loss for the Sox. I watched that. That's all I got for you on Otter, though. Didn't he have or was that the other night he had the Rangers?
So he had the Heat laying 1.5. He had over 9.5 in Red Sox-Angels. He had the Nationals, which hit.
He needed that.
No. I'm sorry.
Uh-oh.
No. He had the Nationals, which didn't hit. They lost 7-4.
Didn't he take the A's?
He had the A's.
Yeah. It's our guy's first win of the week.
Boy.
Yeah.
Last year, he was so on fire with Major League Baseball. And then he went to Del Mar and he never recovered. But Otter crushed football.
He did?
Not just Otter. Otter and his band of merry men.
Yes.
I mean, the picks that they would do, the
Cappers recap.
The Cappers recap.
Yeah, the Cappers recap.
Oh my gosh, that they would do on Sunday. Like if I was going to Mass at 11:30, like if the Saints were playing later, I would text Jimmy and be like, "Hey, I'm about to walk in. It's 11:20. I'm walking into Mass. Give me the picks right now so I can play the noon games before I go into church." And they were so on fire. But boy, it is.
Yeah.
NBA and MLB, it has been a struggle bus for our guy.
It's been rough.
Really disappointed about the MLB because he was so good at MLB last year. Maybe, look, he's going to Del Mar again. Shorter stint in Del Mar in July. I think just a couple of weeks, not like, a couple of months. And, maybe this gets him refocused.
Okay.
Maybe he comes out of Del Mar, clear mind, and ready to roll.
Okay, that's what you mean. Okay, I was about to say you're not suggesting that like it's the reverse of last year where he's bad right now, goes to Del Mar and is awesome.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm hoping happens.
Oh.
Hope he goes to Del Mar and it gets him refocused and we lock in.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping happens.
All right.
Absolutely, it's what I want to happen.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Why are you being so damn negative?
It's not negativity. It's
it
just
is negativity.
No, it's not.
I'm sorry. You just said I don't think it's going to happen based on nothing.
Because you didn't let me finish. I mean, Otter's going to be in Del Mar, man. Where the surf meets the turf. The last thing he's going to be doing is getting focused. Otter going to be living it up. That's what drove him off the edge last year. Had waitresses cussing in the background when he's on the phone with us. It's a free-for-all.
Are you done now?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay. So, my point is, like, have your fun. Let go of whatever stresses and anxieties may be happening in life. And then when you're back, you're refreshed, you're refocused, and you lock in, is my point. And that is a positive outlook, Muse. Yours is overtly negative. And I'm just hoping for the positive outcome.
Right.
I didn't say there's logic rooted in it. So I'm hoping for it.
How about he just gets on track right now? How about tonight's the bounce back and Otter just goes undefeated?
I just don't believe that's going to happen.
Why are you being so negative, Matt?
I'm being very realistic is what I'm being. I mean, we've seen I have a tremendous sample that suggests that's not going to happen.
Fair.
Okay, Otter locks in 15 minutes. We'll do some Pluckers trivia next.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouses.com, Rouses.com. Remember, you can always get to the Rouse's website or download the Rouse's app. Highly recommend the app as well, because when you get the Rouse's app, you can always do curbside to go and pickup options, delivery and pickup options. So you get the Rouse's app and you select your groceries, your personal shopper will go pick them out for you. Pull up into one of the designated spots. They bring them out to you. It's so easy. Hey, look, gifts for grads. A lot of you see the graduation pictures everywhere. If you need that graduation card to go with the cash you're sending to the grad, or if you need that cake for the grad, they got it. Or Rouse's gift cards are a great option for grads as well. They're going to be moving out on their own for the first time. Why not give them a Rouse's gift card so they can buy their own groceries with that Rouse's gift card, help them get a jump start. It's at Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Little buddy, what's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast office products.
Hey, it's Matt Musso. Join me Monday through Friday for your daily update on LSU baseball with Musso at the Box, presented by New Orleans Flooring, wherever you get your
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
All right, we're going to get to Plucker's trivia here in a sec. The Otter has got an early pick in. Are you ready for it? Are you ready for it?
Give it to me. Let's what we got. We got there's no NBA.
He must have been listening. He said he's got a pick. He's changing pitches to shake this funk, is what he just sent.
All right.
Maybe you think he was listening. I feel bad.
Probably. He was probably
listening. I feel bad.
Hey. Sometimes truth hurts.
He's going with Clemson on the money line.
So Otter's now betting ACC tournament baseball.
Our guy is betting ACC tournament baseball.
All right.
Going with the Clemson Tigers, minus 145. How about it?
Who are they playing?
Virginia Tech.
I don't hate it. Okay. You know what? I might follow along with the Otter on that. Clemson's playing good ball, man. Heading up to Durham to break the funk, though. How about that? So, do we have confidence in him there, or is this a sign of desperation?
Desperation! It's just Hail Mary!
Oh, man.
He hasn't given us a college baseball pick all year!
That's fair.
Yes, not one!
He hasn't.
Not one!
Okay, but...
Do you think the Otter is locked into ACC baseball every day?
Probably not, but I'll say this. The action on college baseball becomes more honest when you get to the postseason. Maybe he's got an angle, man. Otter's not just throwing darts. He'd never do that.
Oh, he's throwing darts, brother. When you're in that funk. Look, he's up to. That's what he's saying. He's like, man, I've been throwing the breaking ball. I can't locate it. I'm going to start throwing a fastball. Okay. See if you can get it over the plate. Oh, man. All right. We're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen. Going up to Durham? You can drive up to Durham in your South Point Volkswagen. Actually, as a matter of fact, the family Scone is driving to the beach, leaving on Friday. We'll be taking Erica's Atlas, where she has an Atlas. I have the Atlas Crossport. Crossport takes out the third row, a little sleeker on the back, but still plenty of storage space. But we'll be taking Erica's car to the beach. Ride's great. Plenty of room. Actually, before Erica had the Atlas, she had a large SUV that was on a truck chassis. And you'd think, well, that thing's so much bigger because it sits higher. But the storage space, there's actually more storage space in her Atlas than we had in the, she drove a Yukon. So it's incredible, man. Test drive one today at South Point Volkswagen, Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer. Airline just north of Highland, or online at southpointvw.com. Southpointvw.com. 9 different IIHS top safety picks. Stylish, style, feel, performance of luxury without the cost. It's at South Point Volkswagen. Southpointvw.com. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction? Okay. Muse, let's do a little Pluckers trivia, if we shall.
Let's. Feeling good about this. Let's do it.
Yeah. You shouldn't be feeling good about this, Muse.
What?
I know you well enough, and I think you're going over. You got a shot, I think, again at one of these.
Here we go.
I have been surprised in the past, but there are times when I'll look at it and I go, yeah, you got no shot at getting any of these. And I'll look and I'll go, well, you know what, Muse, I think you, what was the one I told you? I think you had a shot at an educated guess. It was a NASCAR, North Carolina NASCAR.
I think it was last week, actually.
Yeah,
I was like, last week.
You got a shot. You got an educated guess. I think you might have a shot at one of these.
Okay.
Here we go. It's another NASCAR question.
Oh, okay, well then,
Amuse, which of these is not a member of a NASCAR pit crew? Tire carrier, tire changer, lugman, gas man. Which of these is not a member of the NASCAR pit crew? Tire carrier, tire changer, lugman, gas man.
It's got to be tire carrier. Really? You got one guy filling the car up with gas. The other guy does the lug nuts, takes them off, and then the guy brings the tires and put it on, right?
The correct answer is lugman.
What?
There is no lugman.
There's the guy doing the drill, taking the tire off.
The tire changer.
Ah, he does it all? Okay. I thought he kind of got off the way, went to the next tire.
Well, you have the tire carrier who brings it, and the tire changer does the lug nuts.
Wait, wasn't tire changer one of the answers? Oh, wait, yeah,
yes.
He lugged me. I thought he did it and then went to the other tire, the lug guy. Okay. I don't watch NASCAR, man. I don't think I've ever watched one NASCAR race in my life. I'd like to go to Talladega.
You had
it looks like a blast.
25% chance of getting that.
Yeah.
Came up. Talladega, not a blast, by the way.
Really?
Yeah. All right, Muse. Starring Jodie Foster and James Garner, what 1994 film has the tagline, "In their hands, a deck of cards was the only thing more dangerous than a gun"?
What? I don't know.
Starring Jodie Foster and James Garner, what 1994 film has the tagline, "In their hands, a deck of cards was the only thing more dangerous than a gun"?
Yeah, we'll go A Dangerous Game. I have no idea. Just made that up right off the top of my head.
Dangerous Game.
I don't know.
Is that actually a movie?
I have no idea. I just put it together. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. Made sense, though, with the question, right?
There was a movie called... No, it was The Most Dangerous Game.
See?
2022.
Oh, yeah. No, that's not what I was thinking of at all.
What we were looking for was the film Maverick.
Never seen it. Never heard of it, as a matter of fact.
I've seen it. It's awesome. The dead giveaway would have been if they included the lead role, the actor who played the lead in that movie, which they did not include. And that was Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson played Maverick. A fantastic movie. It's a great comedy.
Maybe I'll go watch it.
James Garner was Maverick's father. We found out later. Well, I'm giving it away now.
Yeah, you're spoiling this.
That is definitely a spoiler.
Wow. Well, now I'm not going to go watch it.
It doesn't ruin the movie, but that was one spoiler that I just gave to you.
Okay.
Because it's the very end of the movie.
Wow.
Throughout the entire thing, Maverick quotes, my pappy used to say this and that, whatever. And at the very last scene of the movie, you learn that James Garner's his pappy. But it doesn't give the movie away.
Okay.
Anyway. All right, Muse, last one. And this one, boy, I've done enough of these questions with you that I know you have no shot.
This is the one here.
This is the one you've got.
This is the one.
You have no shot at all.
All right.
The Latin abbreviation. Oh, it gets better. The Latin abbreviation CF is typically used to mean what?
I don't even have a guess. Yeah, I'm just going to take the fifth on that one. I've got nothing.
We were looking for compare.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Is that like IE means example?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we'll try to do better next week.
I won't be here.
That's true. Well, you normally send me the questions when you're out anyway, so Paul will try to do better next week.
Okay. You can get by Pluckers tonight. Play some trivia. Try to do better than Muse did. Win some Pluckers gift cards.
It won't be that hard, I promise.
Eat wings, drink beer, all that good stuff. Okay. We are limping to the finish here. Muse goes 0 for 3 in trivia, and now Ott gets to give us some bad gambling picks. Let's do it.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by ProCharge EV. I was trying to think of some witty correlation between electric vehicle chargers or like jump starting something, but nothing really came to mind. ProChargeEV.com. ProChargeEV.com. I'd like to remind you that ProCharge, their entire territory is the Southeast. So if you're in Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, Arkansas, Georgia, the whole Southeast, and you're interested in an electric vehicle charger for your home or office, ProCharge can help. Learn more at ProChargeEV.com, ProChargeEV.com. Electric vehicle chargers for your home or your office building. Remember, especially if you are a business owner or you have a commercial building, they have tap-to-pay options. Yes, EV chargers can be a great amenity for customers, clients, employees, but it can also be a revenue income generator with tap-to-pay options. Learn more, ProChargeEV.com.
$0 over MSRP at Corval Toyota in Opelousas. That's right, don't pay over MSRP. There's no markups, no games. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down on my last dime. Come home, live Baton Rouge. I'm ready, what you put me on through. Gotta send my love down the
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile bank.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar, open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Down the stretch we come. Final segment here on a Hump Day edition of AFR presented by Pluckers. One thing left to do. Let's find out what we're betting on tonight. It's time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks, presented by Lofton Staffing Services. At Lofton, we put people to work. Call us today at 924-0200 or go to lofton.jobs.
So we turn to the one and only, the incomparable and all but incomprehensible, the Yacht Father himself, Jimmy Yacht. Otter, how are you?
I've been better. But, good thing about Lofton Staffing, I did talk to them today, and they said, if this does continue, they can find me an occupation. So, Matt, the A's, okay? The A's, I triple bet them. I got them in the game. I got them first 5, and I got them on the run line. Okay. The run line hit.
Yeah.
We were out the gate 2-0 early on, okay?
Yeah.
2 outs in the 5th inning. Nobody on. 2-0 A's.
Hey.
Double homer. Thanks.
That's what you get for betting the A's.
Well, guess what? We going against their sorry asses today. So we're going with I can only jump in the deep end for only one night. Seattle -1.5, -132. Bryce Miller
on the run line.
Fourth round pick, got A&M, 4 starts, all quality starts, 22 strikeouts, 2 walks. He's a prime candidate for Rookie of the Year. 1.42 ERA. Did I tell you the A's were terrible? Yes, they are. Seattle -1.5, even at home, playing the run lines there. And yes, they have the number 1 bullpen in the league, as they shut out the A's last night as well. All right, Baltimore. You're not going to like this one. Baltimore and the Yankees. What a game last night.
Yeah.
Aaron Judge with the 9th inning tying home run. The Yankees come back to win it in the 10th. Baltimore has played better, the last few years in Yankee Stadium than actually Camden Yards. This is one of those classic cases where forget the names, pay attention to the performances. Nancy Nestor was unbelievable last year. He's not been real good this year. Wells hadn't been real good till this year. He's pitching well. So I think a pitching advantage on the hill for Baltimore tonight. I like Baltimore plus $1.40 at Yankee Stadium there. It's okay. You're going to bet the Yankees anyway. Let's go.
No, not.
All right, and then Dodgers. How about the Braves and the Dodgers? The Braves got massive pitching advantages the last 2 nights, and they still lose. Dodgers are on fire. And then they got Gonsolin going tonight. Now, Gonsolin, since they brought him back, they only letting him go 5 innings. But the 5 innings are, unhittable. Elder's been very, very good for Atlanta this year, the starter for the Braves tonight. Gonsolin's twice as better. First 5 only now. First 5 is even money. I got plus 102 at Bet Rivers is the best number. But Gonsolin first 5, Dodgers first 5.
Dodgers first 5. I'm looking at minus 115 at DraftKings.
Plus 102 at Bet Rivers. So
wow. That's a pretty significant difference, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It pays to shop.
Wow.
This jar of peanut butter is this much, and this one, So that's what we're going with.
All right.
And I'm going to bet a little end game on the Crimson Tide of Alabama. The only end game available is at FanDuel. All of the outlets, the mobile sites are putting out the lines on these college baseball games, but the only end game is FanDuel. So anyway, I'm going to go. This Bama team is hot since their coach is gone, so. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Otter likes Clemson on the money line. Yeah. Seattle on the run line. Baltimore on the money line against the Yankees, and Dodgers first 5 tonight. Let's get hot, Otter. Hopefully you're seeing clearly thanks to Dr. Blake Williamson and the Williamson Eye Center. How about that?
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Blake. I can see my L's and my scorecard very, very clearly. No problem at all. I can see these tiny little details of all this data that I spit out over and over. Great. How much did it help me? But, we're like a cornerback. It's okay. So, we're going to come back.
1 minute remaining.
So, anyway, we're over at Modesto on Burbank tonight. Man, we're out on the patio. Nice breeze way going. Kids are out of school. So kind of a nice, kind of cozy night just watching SEC baseball here on the patio or from Modesto tonight. Plenty of golf guests tonight. We hit it last week. One of our picks was Brooks Koepka at 22-1.
Hey, where's the tournament this weekend?
Charles Schwab in Fort Worth.
In Fort Worth. Okay. All right, Otter, we'll be listening, man. We appreciate it as always.
All right, thank you, Matt.
All right, have a great show. Game Time follows us here in Baton Rouge, actually just for a couple more days. On Monday, Otter and Hanny, new live at lunch with Ott and Hanny, 11-1 for our Baton Rouge audience. All right, it's going to do it for us. Muse, Paulie, we appreciate y'all greatly. Have an awesome night. We'll be back tomorrow talking LSU and Arkansas from Hoover. We'll see you then. It's AFR.
AFR.
As we get on down the road, remind you about Mold Zero USA, mold-0usa.com, mold-0usa.com. Tell you every day, kill mold, remove odor, kill dozens of other pathogens. Mold Zero USA. They'll always give you that free estimate. If you want to learn more about the process, I get it. It's different. You have mold people usually are thinking, now we got to cut sheetrock. It's going to be messy. It's going to be intrusive. Nah, with Mold Zero. They come in. They spray their patented non-toxic dry fog treatment. It's easy. It's all hooked up to a truck, all the hoses and everything. They'll pull up, they'll walk in, they'll spray the whole house. The fog will touch everything in the house. You let it dwell. It'll kill the mold, the spores, all of it. And then you just wait for the fog to dissipate. Go right back in your home, your mold-free, clean-smelling home. You want to learn more about the process? Little or no demolition required. You want to learn more what the Army Corps of Engineers has to say? It's all there. mold-0usa.com.
Bayou Ford has $15,000 off plus 0.9% APR for 60 months on all new 22 Ford F-150 SCA trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, anytime. Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
The importance of doing this fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like HUDCO, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
We're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance jobs, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. And I think we're rocking and rolling.